Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Give me a 9 up in the chat if I can be heard. Fam, give me a 9 up in the chat. All praises to the ever-present creator. The all in all, the always was, is, and ever shall be. Y'all see the title, the creator versus the Hindu pantheon of deities, or the Hindu pantheon. You feel me? It's crazy, man. I thought Egypt had a whole bunch of deities, boy. These cats over in India, you know, Vindu, India, East India, whatever you want to call it. Man, listen to me. I don't think there's a place in this earth that got more deities or the gods than India, man. This is crazy. I see y'all in the building. Bless up, bless up. Shout out to the haters, jaw jackers, and naysayers. Yeah. We love y'all too. Peace and love missiles at you. Who in the building? Who we got? We got my brother. We got my brother, the West Side Cali Connect, Dreadful Cosmine in the building. Y'all tap in. Tap in. Create a speed to you, brother. You already know. You already know. We got my brother Bronze. My brother Bronze. What's the word, Doc? Hey, this is one of your topics right here, big dog. Man, this gets it. Look, it gets real. It get crazy. You get over in India, boy. We're gonna look at it. We're gonna look at it a little bit at today. Higher light homeschool in the building. Salute. I salute everybody that's homeschooled. That's a major sacrifice, man. Major league sacrifice. I got my Dirty South brethren in the building. Yeshaya Print Blake in the building. Jah bless all y'all, man. Creator blessings. Just me. We got the brother with the archives. That's the minister of getting your archives and footages together right there. That's that brother. That brother got everything recorded, baby. You know what I mean? Salute my brother. Favor in the name of the creator to every last one of y'all. Elizabeth Weaver in the building. Love and light, fam. Love and light. Dwayne Hosey, Dwayne Samuel Hosey in the building. Hey, brother, I'm pretty sure you got them oils by now, man. Go ahead and shout your brother out a little taste, man. Shout your brother out a little taste. Make a social media post or something, man. You dig? It's all good. Who we got in the building? SHALOM TV. Y'all go like, subscribe, share. Like, subscribe, share. You know what I mean? Tap in with the brother, man. Brother has a whole university over there on his channel. Go to the playlist, get you in a WASP and get the tap in. Schools in session. You know what I mean? Salute to God. Let me see what else we got in here. We got my sister, the creator's Unstoppable. Y'all go like, subscribe, share. She put up content. Ooh, wait. Keep dropping them deals, baby. Keep dropping them deals. We got Imai Robbie Dobson in the building. Kana Yael Batya in the building. Tap in with the elders. Tap in with the elders. Love and light. Love, light, balance, and power to everybody. Chay. Hub City in the building. Ima Ahuba. Hub City of Compton in the house. That's right. Salute. Blessings to the fam. Blessings to the fam, man. We got my brother Jelon in the building. Salute. What's the word, big dog? How you be? How you be? Love and light, brother. Lead that. Got my brother Fritz in the building. Yeah. It's real in the field today. Who else we got? We got my sister Yvette, my Facebook friend and sister. Long time. My sister Yvette in the building. Love and light to your family, sis. You already know. MINISTRIES in the building. Ooh wee. Yeah, we cooking today. All right, so look, y'all know how I like to do. I like to go ahead and, bring the appetizer out before we bring out the full course meal. You feel me? So here, let me show y'all this, man. Look, I ain't even know it. I mean, I did, but I really did. You know what I mean? So what I want to show y'all is something right here. And it's crazy. I know. Warning, this is fair use. That's all I can tell you. Fair use. No need for nobody to get the fumigating at the mouth or getting mad. I did not make the content. You feel me? I'm simply sharing. Warning, fair use for education and entertainment purposes only. All right? No reason to get mad at me. Let's look into some of this, man. All right, Stephanie Randall in the building. Another Cali Connect. Bless up. Now, I know some of y'all may not want to see something like this, but hey, we got to keep it solid across the board, man. You know what I mean? I ain't got no problem bringing no, if it's truth, what we apologizing for? Look at this. Man, the name of this video is called The Hindu God of Transgenders. Origin of Transgender in Hinduism. Yeah, it makes sense. They mimicking the gods. Their deities are gods and goddesses or he, she's, and you don't know if you coming or going. So it would be natural that a philosophy of being a transgender would, develop amongst that. Look at your gods. Look at your deities. If the divine is represented like this, you feel me? And that's real. Like a lot of times they got elephant heads and 8 arms, and it's crazy. And a lot of times you don't know if that's a god or a goddess, or maybe it's both. You know what I mean? So here, let me put this in the chat so y'all can have it. Y'all can have it, man. You know what I mean? And the crazy part about it, man. Man, the crazy part about it is when you get to like trying to like decipher all this, man. Look, their text, everything contradicts. Nothing says the same. Like, look, they stuff so deep. It's like you can't make the heads or the tails about it. You know what I mean? And you can see that the deities, the false gods, are at work. You know what I mean? Like you don't get this intricate and this many gods and false gods ain't at work. It's impossible. You know what I mean? Like where you getting your rites and ceremonies from? Who's delivering them to you? You know what I mean? Somebody just waking up, smelling the Folgers and just like, yeah. This is the ritual we gonna do here. This is how we gonna do it. We're gonna do it at this time, at this season, on this day. Come on, man. You know what I mean? So what's behind all of these 330 something million gods? That's what don't nobody want to talk about. Call me when I be on. You know what I mean? That's what people don't want to talk about. They don't want to talk about. Hey man, look, it's over 300 some million gods in India. 330 million to be precise. Over that. Now watch this. So I just put that up in the chat for y'all. You dig? Watch this real quick. I couldn't even believe this. Like, what is going on there? Man, let's start this over.
Important one, Arman is our goal.
It is not very often that we hear the mentions of the transgender community in our ancient Hindu texts, but the Hindu view of the world has always been friendly towards the different ways of being. According to Rig Veda, Vikriti evam prakriti, which means what seems unnatural is also natural. So what does the Hindu text have to say about the god of transgenders? It is widely believed in the southern India that the transgender community originated from a small character in the Mahabharata named Iravan.
All right, so it's saying like, man, in their text is saying this is where this whole origin of this whole community came from. It's Hindu ideology and belief. That's what this is. Like, and if you be real with it, man, that whole transgender stuff came out of nowhere. Like it kind of like took root, even though back in the day you had them cross-dressing cats like RuPaul and all them. You know what I mean? And for the longest, I thought Wendy Williams was a man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. And said sometimes I still do, but I thought Wendy Williams may have been one of them. You know what I mean? But no, like even though back in the day they had cats like the cross dressers like RuPaul and all them, and you got cats like Little Richard. I'm talking about the whole transgender. If you pay attention to it, that whole movement, that LBGT, that came rushing out of nowhere. I'm talking about, and it took root. It took root. You know what I mean? This is saying that it has its origin dealing with Hinduism. Dang, watch this.
Often also referred as Aravan. Aravan was a child of Arjun, one of the heroes of Mahabharata war and the greatest archer of all times. The birth of Aravan is mentioned in the first book of Mahabharata, named Adi Parva. The story begins when Arjun breaks the rule and enters Draupadi's palace. As we know, Draupadi was married to all the 5 Pandava brothers. After their wedding, it was agreed that Draupadi will spend 1 year with only one Pandava and fulfill her duties as a wife towards only that person. During this year, only the Pandavas she serves had the permission to enter the palace, and the other 4 Pandavas were not allowed into her palace. The one who
Dang, little mama had 5 husbands. Dang. Oh no. Look at this.
breaks the rule will have to go on an exile for 1 year. Once Arjuna happened to forget this rule and entered the palace of Draupadi when she was serving his brother. As a result, he was sent to a 1-year-long exile away from Indraprasth. It was during this year Arjun goes to the northeast region of present India and meets Ulupi, the widowed Naga princess, but also a great warrior. Ulupi,
The widow Naga princess, huh? Naga. Really?
was the daughter of the serpent king Kauravya, who rules the underwater kingdom of snakes in the Ganga river. The two fell in love and ended up marrying. It is through this association Aravan was born. After completion of 1 year, Arjun leaves the Naga kingdom, leaving behind his wife and son. Aravan is often described as born Parakshetra, which means born in a region belonging to another person. Some people interpret this as being born to a wife of another man, as Ulupi was a widow before she met Arjuna. Aravan grew in the Nagalok, well protected by his mother. Growing up, Aravan was rejected by his maternal uncle because of his rivalry against Arjun, as Arjun was responsible for killing off all the Nagas in the Khandav forest when Pandavas had set on to establish the Indraprasth as their kingdom. Being the son of 2 great warriors, Aravan grew up to be a great warrior himself. After reaching adolescence, Aravan was curious to know his father and hoped to be reunited with him. This desire took him to Indralok, the abode of Lord Indra, who was also Arjuna's father. Upon meeting his son Aravan, Arjun requests his assistance in the Kurukshetra war. The story behind the participation of Aravan in the Mahabharata.
So as you see, all this is warfare, bloodshed. Even if you talk about this is in their tradition or their myth, even if it's mythos. Notice, you know what I mean? Remember the character of the creator, he never even sanctioned warfare, the spilling of blood or the taking of life. You feel me? So look, this right here for us that's in the know, we already know what it is. They telling on themselves. Their deities can't be the creator of all creation because what? They're sanctioning warfare. Watch this.
Bharat War is very controversial and is much debated upon. According to the Tamil version of Mahabharata, before the beginning of Kurukshetra war, a sacrificial rite named Kalapalli was performed. This ritual requires the sacrifice of a valiant warrior to the battlefield to ensure the victory in the battle. Krishna, who was a friend
Y'all hear that? This ritual requires the sacrifice of a valiant warrior. Now, some blood got to spill. Another that's one of the main keys dealing with a deity and not the creator is the warfare. It's the bloodshed. You know what I mean? Because over this way, we understand the reality of the spirits that die in warfare. They're birthed into the spirit world in chaos. Those spirits got to be restored by the angels that are in charge or charged with receiving their spirits. You feel me? It's almost like being birthed prematurely. You know what I mean? So we understand the condition of those who die in warfare, in chaos. You know what I mean? And the labor the angels got to go through, you essentially are bringing affliction on the angels who are charged with receiving the spirits of the dead. You know what I mean? And a lot of them cats still be waging on in war as if they stuck on the battlefield. You know what I mean? War begets war. War doesn't beget peace. You never get peace from warfare. You know what I mean? So again, that's a way you can tell dealing with these deities. Warfare, sacrifice, meaning bloodshed. All to appease the god. You know, to make them happy, to calm them down. You dig? Wait, watch this.
an advisor to the Pandavas, hears of Duryodhana's plan of such a sacrifice and devises a plan of his own to perform the sacrifice ahead of the Kauravas. Krishna discusses this idea with the eldest Pandava, Yudhishthir, recommending him to offer the sacrifice to Mother Kali as a part of Ayudha Puja.
The sacrifice is supposed to go to Mother Kali. Kali, K-A-L-I, is another goddess. You know what I mean? One of many goddesses out of ancient India or East India. It's crazy.
Now shortlists 4 candidates who were the most suited to being offered for the sacrifice. They were Shalya, Aravan, Arjuna, or Krishna himself. It is said that Krishna first offers himself to be the sacrificial victim, but Aravan volunteers to replace him. Some also describe Aravan to be so strong that he could slay 100 Duryodhanas at once, thus preventing any war from happening. So Krishna agreed to the human sacrifice of Aravan to enable the bigger vision of the war to take place for the victory of Dharma over Adharma. Krishna reaches out to Aravan's mother, Ulupi, for her consent, and she strongly opposes the decision, but is later convinced by Aravan when he says he belongs to Mother Kali alone. Upon making the decision of self-sacrifice, Aravan requests Lord Krishna to grant him 3 boons. As his first wish, he requested Krishna to grant him the boon of a heroic death on the battlefield at the hands of a great hero. Because Aravan will not get to participate in the war, he did not want to deprive himself from the title of Veergati, meaning the heroic death. His second wish was to see the full Kurukshetra war even after his death. Krishna agreed to all the 3 wishes of Aravan, but was unable to find a woman who wanted.
See, Krishna is agreeing to the warfare and the bloodshed. Just like Judges, the 11th chapter, dealing with Jephthah and his sacrifice of his daughter. You know what I mean? It was the Lord's spirit that was put on him, and then he made the move. You know what I mean? He made the move. Bang. And then he made a vow and said, if I'm successful in this war, whatever comes out of my house shall be yours, and I will offer it up as a burnt offering. You know what I mean? And when you know about the burnt offerings, go back to Leviticus, the 1st chapter, you already know it got to go down. You know what I mean? The head got to get removed from the shoulders, chopped off. You know what I mean? Legs got to get chopped off. Organs got to get yanked out. Fat got to get cut off the organs. The blood, the fat, and the flesh, the head, the legs, and all that go on the altar as a burnt offering and a sweet smelling aroma to the Lord. You feel me? So it's the same situation over this way. The deities or the gods are still requiring what? Warfare, bloodshed, sacrifice. Watch this. Watch this. That's why I always say you got to know the character of the creator. And you can't get caught up in it. You can't even get caught up in the, well, whose side you on? Israel or Palestine? On neither one of their side. Both of them are going to war in the name of their deity, their God. It ain't the creator. So, no, the creator ain't got nothing to do with none of that. You know what I mean? These are the false gods fighting over dominion on the earth, because how can they have a heavenly kingdom, but they don't have no type of anchorage on the earth? You know what I mean? So the gods are fighting over Jerusalem. You know what I mean? Watch this.
To marry Aravan, just to lead the rest of her life as a widow. Krishna solves this dilemma by taking the form of Mohini, the enchantress. Krishna as Mohini.
Hold on. Krishna supposed to be him a boy, Diamond. Him a boy. Then what did Krishna just do? Take on the form of a woman. Whoa, man. They saying in this video, this is where the whole transgenderism comes from. You know what I mean? Men becoming women and women becoming men. You feel me? And the whole thing starts with I know RuPaul with no Ema, but all that's the same spirit. It starts with that. You know what I mean? Niggas start cross-dressing, putting on the rouge and mascara and lotion in their wrist, and you know what I mean, popping their gum and putting on heels, and you know, claiming they tapping into their feminine energy. This stuff goes back to these East Indian freaks. This is crazy. Krishna as Mohini married Aravan, spending the night with him. Come on, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we got to be real with ourselves with all this. Look at this.
To find a woman who wanted to marry Aravan just to lead the rest of her life as a widow. Krishna solves this dilemma by taking the form of Mohini the enchantress. Krishna as Mohini married Aravan, spending the night with him. While some people believe this marriage was consummated, others lay a strong contradiction.
All right, so your God Krishna, him downstairs, Krishna is not the ever-present creator. If you understand that, give me an 8 up in the chat. Can't be. For one, Krishna is in the image and form of a man. And in this case, a woman, Mohini. Huh? 2, he didn't change his form from a man, a boy, to a woman to marry somebody, and they spent the night together. What you mean? Like, what is there to, like, it ain't even, should be even nothing to be said. We know what that's about. So the God, and Krishna is one of the main gods. Krishna, Brahma, Shiva, like that. You know, those are the main deities coming up out of India. And this is Krishna right here, making himself from a boy to a girl, him downstairs. And like my brother Brown saying, Krishna was black too, not blue. This is crazy, man. We got to be real with ourselves. You feel me? That's why I always be saying, like, you got to know, look, make sure if you don't know nothing else, understand and know the character of who you call the creator. If you don't know anything else, that's what you got to learn. That's what you got to learn. Matter of fact, let me show y'all something real quick. While we right here, we can always come back to that. You know what I mean? We might as well go ahead and use this as an opportunity real quick to show, like, what we talking about. All right. Show what we talking about. Dang, did I ask about that deal? Probably did, man. All right, ain't no thing. I can still go back. Here we go. Here. All right, let me share this with y'all. All right, this is the flip this on the screen. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to the video, man. All right, this is the Book of Safar. OSP headshot. AA and 6. All right. Now check this out. Check this out right here. I found this very interesting. It said, who comes here? Answer. A faith is in the creator. Right there it says Jehovah, Jehovah. Who is the creator? Answer. The great spirit. He who is over all and within all. The potent and unseen. It is he whose ever presence quickens in the life all that live. Do y'all see this? So Krishna can't be the creator. And Krishna like top dog over that way. When it comes down to the gods, you got Krishna, you got Shiva. You know what I mean? Krishna, Shiva, what's a few others, whatever the rest of them are. But come on now. We just seen that he, for one, Krishna is in the image of a man, him blue too. In the image of a man, and then he can transform himself into a woman. Vishnu. There you go. Vishnu, Shiva. Hold on. Then you got Brahma, right? Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma, Krishna over that way too, though. You know what I mean? I know he up there. And then, now look at this. Who is the creator? The great spirit. He who is over all and within all. The potent and unseen. Potent means strong, and unseen mean no one has ever seen the creator. Creator is not in the image of a man or a woman. It is he whose ever presence quickens into life all that live. Watch this. Question, where is the creator? Answer, everywhere. Everywhere. Nor is there a place without him. See, so this can't be the creator right there. You understand? It can't be the creator then. Him downstairs is not the creator. Krishna turning himself into a girl, a woman, can't be the creator. Krishna, even if he never changed himself into a woman, but remained in the image of a man, can't be the creator. Why? The creator is everywhere, ever present. No one has ever seen creator. Everywhere at the same time. That's when we say everywhere, meaning everywhere at the same time at once. So if you walking through the Garden of Eden in the cool of the day, you not in Japan. You see what I'm saying? You ain't in a different galaxy. You ain't in Green Bay, Wisconsin. You ain't in Peru. Everywhere at once means everywhere at once. That's what ever present means. So it don't matter with Vishnu, Brahma, Shiva, Krishna, any of them. These are not the creator, y'all. These are deities. Now you need to be asking yourself, well, what in the hell is inspiring these things? Look at this. Let's get back to it. So we can understand. When we say creator, you can understand what's being said. You feel me? Because there's a lot of people who think that their deity is the creator. And then, you run across the gang and we be like, nah, you got to take that back to the drawing board. You know what I mean? Like, where is who you call God? Where is he at right now? Cat gonna say sitting on the throne. Well, if God can't be the creator sitting on the throne. Because remember, you got to be everywhere at the same time. Ever present. All in all, there always was, is, and never shall be. So you can't pump fake with it. You can't be like, well, he's on the throne and Jesus is at his right hand, and you thinking that both of these are the creator, or one is the creator and one was commanded by the creator. No, listen, the creator is not in the form and figure of a man or a woman. The creator is unseen. Look at it again. Who is the creator? The answer, the great spirit. He who is over all and within all. The potent and unseen, meaning the potent means strong. He's not weak. And unseen mean what? You can't see creator. No one has. All you can do is look at his work and his methodology and realize there's a creator. Right? Watch this. It is he whose ever presence quickens into life all that live. That means all. His presence, ever presence, quickens into life all that live, meaning his presence is what sparks life. So yeah, the creator is right there in the midst of you, within you, outside of you. You feel me? Now that you know that, you can walk more circumspectly. You feel me? Look at this right here. Where is creator? Answer, everywhere. Nor is there a place without him. So hey, that's so if we got your deity say, hey, let's go on down and see what's going on, man. So we can confound some languages, because we got to go down and see what's going on. Well, if you got to come down and see, that means you're not ever present. You're not everywhere at the same time. You're not all knowledge. You're not all powerful either. You got to come down and see what's going on. You should already know what's popping. You're ever present. Look at this. What is his form? What is the creator's form? Answer, no man can attain to know his form. No man can attain to know his form. So who is that told Moses, get over there in the cleft of the rocks? You can look at my hind parts, my hind quarters. No, but that's still somebody with a form, with a rectum that sat down on a chair floating in space somewhere. Well, that's someone that has a form. And that's something that has a form that's worshipped. Because you believe that was the creator that showed Moshe, Rabbeinu Moshe. You think that's the creator that showed Moses his hind parts. What is his form? No man can attain to know his form. Well, question, what is his extent? No man can attain to know his extent. Come on, man. Y'all gotta be solid with this. Yeah. And look, I know, because at times you be like, dang, you start getting mad, man. Dang, why was I doing that? So much bullshit. Nigga. But nah, man, all these things are stepping stools. You know what I mean? I don't regret nothing. I done been through, learned, and you feel me? Because that all got me to where I'm at right now. I wouldn't even change none of it. Nope. Send me right on through it so I can get to where I'm at right now. You feel me? And apply pressure. But according to this, no man can know his form. No man can know his extent. We just know Creator is ever present everywhere at the same time. And what you call life only is life because of his ever presence. Good night. So the question is, well, is Creator a person? Is he a person? Answer. Look at this. In as much as all the living are persons, so is he the all person of all things. Dang. And as much as his ever presence quickened into life all that live, so is his ever presence with the living, seeing, hearing, and feeling every word and act of all men, women, and children on earth and in heaven. Bag drop. So that means whoever that was that said, come, let us go down and see. Those are deities. But hold on, it say the Lord. You click on Lord, it say Yahweh. But it's still saying us. Let us come down and see what's going on. But that means you're not the creator. His ever presence quickened into life all that live. So is his ever presence with the living. And right now, within you, without you, you ain't got to go tap in with no priest and plead the blood of nothing to tap in with Creator. The Creator's ever present, never went nowhere. The fact you got life proves the Creator's presence. Good night, boy. So is his ever presence with the living, seeing, hearing, and feeling every word and act of all men, women, and children on earth and in heaven. Bag drop. Ain't nothing else to even talk about, man. You feel me? What we finding out is we've been duped. We've been dealing with deities. We've been devoted disciples to deities. Yeah, that part. Yeah. Don't feel good, do it. But you can use that feeling that you have and use that. You feel me? And point that in the right direction and really do something major out here. You feel me? To transform the minds of those that's in darkness, man. Because believe it or not, this is a revolution. It's a revolution that we fight. Y'all looking for the next civil war. You dig? Nah, we over here bodying the deities, tearing down strongholds, showing you like, hey, look, you can get some good about it there, but look, don't fall for the deity worship. Hey, look, when you cross over, you're going to run into some type of deity claiming to be your creator. Don't fall for it. You know what I mean? Like, we putting you on game out here. Regardless if you believe it or not, at least you aware. Look at this. Look at this right here. It says, what interest do you have in him? Answer. He is my father. That's right. How many interest I have in the creator? That's my father. He is within my soul. I am within him and a very member of his person. Dang. That's how you answer, huh? What you mean what interest I got? Where did his name come from? Answer, as the wind whispers eh in the leaves and utters oh in the ocean surge and in the thunder above and e in the winter's shrill whistle. So came the name E-O-E, which has become Jehovah and Eloi and Elohim and Wenohim, all these different, right? all these different ways to say the creator or whatever. What they all have in common is the the O, and the E sound. O-E. Jeho-E, L-O-E, Elohim, Wed-Nohim. All of them got the O, and E sound. Based off what? Based off what the wind whispers and what the ocean says and whispers and all that. See that? Like, creator is named off his creation. Creator is named off his creation. O-E. As the wind whispers E in the leaves and utters O in the ocean surge and in the thunder above and E in the winter shrill whistle. So came the name O-E. You know what I mean? Start harmonizing some of that. You start feeling, boy, some vibrations going through your chest and your mind. You be like, whoa, hold on now. What's going on here? Try it out. That's the thing. Like, people can run their mouth, but ain't how you pronounce whatever. Hey man, look, if you ain't been out here really like grinding and really putting this thing to work and trying this thing out, you dig? Hey, I dare you, try it out. Like, test it, test and see if this stuff coming back false or not. You know what I mean? Hey, from somebody that really be trying this thing, man, I'm telling you, get your mind blown. You feel me? Look at this. How was he discovered? Answer. The angels of heaven taught man to him. Who are the angels of heaven? People. Look at this, so you can get some understanding. So you don't be out here worshiping angels or gods or lords or saviors. Get you some understanding. All right? Now, question is, who are the angels of heaven? Answer. People who once lived on earth or other corporeal worlds. Oh, man, I know that made somebody mad. You mean to tell me angels are one-time living mortals? Is that what we saying? Angels are one-time living mortals. One-time living mortals on the earth or some other physical world. You know what I mean? Now look at this word. Bing, bing, bing. Who are the angels of heaven? Answer. People who once lived on earth or other corporeal worlds. What is their form? Answer. Look at this. Even as mortals, but being perfect. Where is heaven? Look at this. Answer. Worlds unseen by mortals fill the ethereal firmament above. These worlds are heaven. These are the spirit worlds. These are the ethereal worlds. These are the abodes of the spirits of the dead. Yeah, that's probably gonna make somebody mad right there. Ain't nothing. Look, man. Tell them boys I do this. You see that? James Webb Telescope pointing toward what they thought was a void in space, and look what it registered back, boy. Now look, let me go back and read that. Y'all keep looking at that while I read this right here. Look what this says right here. It says, question. It says, where is heaven? Answer. Now remember, they thought this was a void. It says, worlds unseen by mortals fill the ethereal firmament above. Worlds unseen by mortals fill the ethereal firmament above. These worlds are heaven. These are the spirit worlds. These are the ethereal worlds. These are the abodes of the spirits of the dead. Do y'all hear this? Right? At first, this is unseen. You couldn't see it. It's black space. You feel me? Until they point that James Webb telescope toward that void, and look what comes back. These worlds are heaven. These are the spirit worlds. All these are different worlds. See that? See, in the end, we can keep talking, or we can be like, hey, look, let's go ahead and prove it. Let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and see if the first, what you call the Van Allen radiation belt, the first work belt is 500 miles above the Earth's surface. The Van Allen radiation belt wasn't discovered in the 1950s. Waspi said in Cosmogony and Prophecy, you know what I mean, back in the 1800s, the first warp belts are 500 miles above the Earth's surface. Wasn't confirmed 70 years later through who you call the James Van Allen radiation belts. And the exact, yes, it's roughly 500 miles above the first belt. First radiation belt is roughly 500 miles above the Earth's surface. I say, dang, look at that. That's crazy. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of goofy, people run their mouth, but they really ain't put this into action. My brothers and sisters put this thing in action, y'all. We set it off. Go back and look at 2023. We set it off in front of the entire conscious community. You feel me? You got cats running up. They a whole year late, 2 years late. You feel me? And it's crazy because they be want to talk about the same stuff, bro. We already, like, whatever anybody want to talk about with Waspi, they want to talk about certain things that happen around it. You know what I mean? But we didn't already did the presentations and showed how all that's some BS anyway. You feel me? And then when we double back and show you, well, look what's all involved with dealing with Bible. You know what I mean? Then it's like, oh no, well, hold on. If you can still read Bible, even though Jim Jones had a cult down in, you know what I mean, French Guiana, Bible based. Even though David Koresh had a cult down there in Waco, Texas, Bible based. Huh? Even though you got Israelite movements from Yahweh ben Yahweh, they was cutting off white folks' ears in Miami, Bible based. You know what I mean? Over there in Demona, dealing with Ben Ami and them. You feel me? And a lot of the scandal that came out of there, people who I personally know, Bible based, but they don't stop you from reading the Bible. So anything anybody's trying to come out with is something that people were doing, who some say were reading it. You feel me? But no, when it comes down to chopping information to information, bro, they ain't got nothing higher than a Waspi out there. Not right now. It just ain't, you know what I mean? And it's crazy because it don't got holy on it. It basically comes humble and tell you that it ain't perfect, it ain't flawless. But then when we put it on, when we demonstrate it and we set it off in front of everybody, you feel me? But everybody done took an L, bro. It's not nothing to play with. You feel me? How about y'all just don't know what y'all talking about? And it's time for y'all to sit down and look at what we saying. You feel me? So, I mean, anybody can get it. You know what I mean? That ain't no problem. It's just like, but what are we gonna keep doing? Talking about the same thing? What you gonna bring up? The placentia grass eaters and all that? That ain't got nothing to do with the topic of the debate. What you gonna bring up? The Shalom colonies and all that? Ain't got. We talking about the information in her. Is your God a deity? Do you worship a deity, or are you dealing with the Creator? Because once that's understood, if what you've been doing is to a deity or to a false God, and everything you think you've been doing is false. You feel me? So anybody can get it though, man. That ain't no problem. Easy work. Easy work. Let me share this. Share this right here. Y'all see what it is, man. All right. It ain't like we hid our wisdom in a corner or nothing like that. What we do, we did it the old school way, right in front of everybody. Everybody got hit. We hit every platform. Yeah. So now you got cats like Yara, like, bro, stop it. He not nowhere near ready either. Too dry, bro. He ain't ready for us. Just on presentation alone, he gonna lose. You feel me? Like we the creative gang is a whole different type of force entity that the conscious community is nowhere near ready for. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. We're talking about the ever-present creator, the creator of all creation. We talking about the creator of every God you name out your mouth. So you may have friends in high places, but they're not higher than ours. That's the point. You know what I mean? Your friends ain't higher than ours. That's what we saying. We come in the name and authority of the ever-present creator, the all in all, the always was, is, and never shall be. You ain't getting past that. So who you can name that's beyond that or above that, that's ever present, that's everywhere at the same time, always has been, never stopped creating. Or did your God have to rest? Yeah, that part. That part. Look at this bird. So we just read about what heaven is, right? It says worlds unseen by mortals fill the ethereal firmament above. These worlds are heaven. These are the spirit worlds. These are the ethereal worlds. These are the abodes of the spirits of the dead. How did angels come from heaven down to the physical earth? In the Danhai, or times of light, they come direct. At other times, they come through familiar spirits. Who are familiar spirits? Look at this. Answer: our fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, and other relatives and friends who have not been dead long. Look at this. And other spirits who have not learned of or risen to the heavens above Earth's atmosphere. Many of these abide on the earth and with mortals, some for a few years, some for 100, and some for 1,000 or more years. Now you know what a familiar spirit is. Your ancestors. You know what I mean? That have not been dead long, or those who have not learned of or has risen above the heavens above the earth's atmosphere. Yeah. You continue to graduate and progress after you cross over. That's what resurrection is. Like a lot of people's understanding of resurrection is they still come back to earth. You coming back to earth in the flesh. You know what I mean? That's what resurrection is. It's you still your spirit is returning back to the earth, and your body is coming out of the grave. But you're back on earth. You know what I mean? Reincarnation is just your spirit left, and then it comes back in the womb of another woman and comes out as a baby. But you still back in the flesh on earth. You feel me? Over this way, we explain resurrection as graduation. You continue to graduate or resurrect once you cross over. Your first resurrection, we all go through that. That's when you first die. That's a resurrection. You're graduating. That's a transition. You're moving from this realm to the next. And then from there, you continue to progress. You know what I mean? Or decline. Your rise or your fall is on you. You feel me? So now you understand what that is. And you understand that there are heavens above the atmosphere. Right? Remember the different layers of atmosphere you learned about in school? Look at this. Question: what is an idol? Answer: anything, look at this, anything having a form and figure that is worshipped. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? That's Krishna in the form of a woman. And Krishna is worshipped. There it is right there. There is him downstairs. Her downstairs. Huh? No, man. Like, we got to get on back to the basics and really learn what we're saying. Right? Most of the inhabitants of the earth have been deceived by the false gods. Who they call God, who they believe in their heart is the creator, actually is a false god pump faking like the creator. Pump faking. Why? Uniform and figure of a man or a woman, and you're worshipped. Makes sense now, don't it? See how clear this is? You hear that? You feel that? What is an idol? Anything having form and figure that is worshipped. Him downstairs. That's a headshot right there. Hold on. Let's get back to it. Hold on. Let's get back to it. Hold on, fam. Let me hit the light in this deal. That's crazy. Him downstairs. There we go. Little light on situation. You know what I'm talking about? That's crazy. Dang, man. All right, so next question. So you see how the gang, we just put it out there so you can get it, man. It ain't even hard. You just stop being bullheaded. Just stop being bullheaded and be like, man, look, I thought y'all was talking about something else, man. I've been a poor little devoted disciple to the false deity anyway. Brother, what y'all saying is helping us out so much, and I understand it. And then look, you'll feel liberated within your spirit, man. Liberated. You feel me? You no longer have the pressure of the false gods upon you, man. It's all on you. You feel me? You'll covenant yourself to your creator and your maker daily. Only my maker is my God, if you want to say God. Only my creator is mine. And I would never see him as I see a man or a woman. So with that understanding, when you cross over, you can cross over fearless. And if any deity come at you and say, bow, you stand before your God, you know for a surety they're false. Question. Because Krishna is a god, right? Krishna is a god that has a form and figure, or a goddess, you know what I mean, depending on what story you read. Who is God? Excellent question. We all should know this, right? Who is God? Answer: a spirit with a heavenly throne, believed by people in darkness to be the creator of all things. Familiar spirits often call themselves God, and taught mortals will call them that also. Good night, boy. It's starting to unravel for you. Yeah, you've been deceived. Been deceived. Been deceived. Been deceived. All these gods sit on thrones. I don't care if you're talking about Osiris and the Judgment Hall Ma'at. The biblical God sits on a throne, according to Psalms 110th chapter and many other spots. You know what I mean? Daniel, the 7th chapter. You dig? Verses 9 through what? 13? 9 through 14. Of the books of Enoch, God, that's a deity. That's a God sitting on a throne. Even over here dealing with the Hindu pantheon and all that. You're sitting on thrones, man. Thrones. So, okay, well, that means whoever that is sitting on like I'm sitting at a bar stool right now. Right? I'm not in Nova Scotia. You know what I mean? I'm not in LA. You feel me? I'm not where you at. I'm where I'm at right now. So if you're localized, you feel me, then you're not ever present. Right? So who is God? A spirit with a heavenly throne, believed by people in darkness to be the creator of all things. Familiar spirits often call themselves God. And taught, notice it says familiar spirits. And you know what a familiar spirit is? What is a familiar spirit? Right there. Familiar spirits. Man, who are familiar spirits? Our fathers, mothers, brothers, and sisters, and other relatives and friends who have not been dead long, and other spirits who have not learned of or risen to the heavens above earth's atmosphere. Many of these abide on the earth and with mortals, some for a few years, some for 100, some for 1,000 or more years. God is a spirit with a heavenly throne, believed by people in darkness to be the creator of all things. Familiar spirits, earthbound spirits who have not risen above the atmosphere, who've been here for a few years, 100 years, or even 1,000 years, bound, call themselves God. Familiar spirits often call themselves God and taught mortals to call them that also. Question: who are saviors? Answer: familiar spirits, there they go again, who have not risen above the heavens, above the earth's atmosphere. Earthbound. Familiar spirits who have kingdoms in the word atmosphere, in atmospheria, which by the ancients was called the lower heaven. Saviors are who? Tyrants, who make slaves of other spirits, who believe in them. Their slaves are sent back to mortals as guardian angels or familiars in order to make captives of mortals after death to augment the Savior's kingdom and atmosphere. Boy, here you go talking about somebody your Savior. You feel me? Like, look, we got to go back to the drawing board with a lot of this. You feel me? Like, a lot of us have been the slaves of these deities. You feel me? Very devoted and don't even know it. Very devoted and don't even know it. Bars. And my boy Brian say, Brian, go like, subscribe, share. Brian say, Hindu gods sit on an animal or a chariot. Yeah. Sitting. Not ever present, baby. Dang, that's crazy, boy. Dang. Question. How can a man escape the toils of false lords, gods, saviors, and familiars? Answer. He shall covenant with the Creator every day of his life. You heard that? Every day of your life, you pose a covenant with the Creator. Straight up. And serve him. This is how you do it. And serve him by doing good works to others with all his wisdom and strength. Nor shall he call in prayer on the name of a Savior or God or any other spirit, but on the Great Spirit only. So step one is you covenant yourself to the Creator every day of your life by serving him, by doing good works to others with all your strength and wisdom. And you stop calling in prayer to any God, Lord, or Savior. This is how you escape the toils or the grasp or the traps of the deities. For one, you got to be solid in who you are by serving the Creator's creation with good works, with all your wisdom and strength. Second, in prayer, stop calling on your gods, lords, and saviors. Only on Great Spirit, only on Creator. Look at this. If he does this and eschews contention, war, leadership, earthly gain, and earthly aggrandizement, then Etherian angels will come and guard him in the name of the Creator. We got the blueprint, man. We got the blueprint. Stop being scared. Stand on business. See that? Stop being scared, man. Like there ain't nothing. There's not a force that ever existed that's above the Creator. You know what I mean? Come on over, tap in with the gang and get liberated in your spirit, man. Liberated in your soul. You feel so much better. You understand? Because now we talking. Now we talking. That's what you got the blueprint. If you understand, you got the blueprint. If you understand, you know what I mean, how to escape the toils of the false gods and all that. If you understand how to, give me a vortex up in the chat, man. That's work. Good old endocrine tea. Yeah. We push health over this way too. Now people don't like that. Fumigating at the mouth. Getting mad. Now we push that too. Dig. Tap in with the bros and sisters. Playing no games in this deal. Hey, man. Hey, see? Here y'all go. Man. Easy work, huh? We got voices in the chat. So now we know. You did you covenant with the Creator, Jah every day of your life. Serve him by doing good works to others with all your wisdom and strength. And when you pray, call on Creator. When you say the Great Spirit, the Creator, you know, whatever. You understand? There has never been a force higher than that. You feel me? And you got direct access. And notice he said, if you get down like that, then he gonna send them high-raised angels to guard you. You gotta worry about no little false little deity or their misfits or the little band of misfits. You don't worry about none of that. Wrap that up real quick. You know what I mean? That ain't nothing. So who are Etherians? So he gonna send them Etherians at you, boy. Big bro and sis in there. Dang. It's right here. Then we get back to him or her downstairs. All right, easy work. Right here. We go down there. All right. Question. Well, who are the Etherians? Answer. Spirits who have risen above the bondage of the earth and its atmosphere. See, that's what we do. That's what we going. That's what the gang get, man. We up and out. Everybody talking about coming back to the earth, whether it's reincarnation or what they believe is resurrection. That's you still coming back to the earth, though. You know what I mean? Your inheritance, our inheritance, y'all, is up and beyond. You feel me? Yeah, it's worlds out there. There you go, talking about coming back to this. I'll show y'all some of these worlds, man. You're like, oh, it's CGI, Malaki. Problem is, all this stuff was written down in what we reading right now. You dig? Way before 2022, Jack. This is called the Boss Cluster right here. Got believed to be the largest cluster of galaxies in existence. But as my brother Cosmo and Cal say, they'll have something else next week because the creator never stopped creating. What you know is the universe and creation is still expanding. Yeah, these are universities and worlds and all that. You know what I mean? Everybody else talking about coming back to Earth. We talking about graduation, more graduation, forever. Forever. See that? So you hit different over this way. Slow it down, it hit different. You know what I mean? Look at this. Look what it says right here. It says right here, who are Ethereans? It says spirits who have risen above the bondage of the earth and its atmosphere. Spirits who can come only to mortals who have attained beyond earthly desires. Man, I'll be happy when I get there one day, boy. I haven't attained. I still have earthly desires. What you mean? You know what I mean? But I'm little bro. What you mean? I'm little bro. I ain't got there yet. I will be there one day. You know what I mean? But no, you can't throw that jacket on me. You know what I mean? I ain't Isu. I ain't got there. Look at it. Has it not been said, do not swear at all? Answer. The Creator says, swear to your Father in heaven every day of your life. And if you fail to keep your oath, you shall renew it on the following day with repentance. But in all swearing, it shall be for perfecting oneself and for the glory of the Father. Boy, y'all see that? Let's get back to it.
That Mohini abruptly departed after the marriage, and thus signifying that the marriage was not consummated. In any case, what follows is agreed by all Tamil texts. After Aravan requested and was granted his boons, he was ready for the sacrifice.
Granted his bones.
After signifying that the marriage was, while some people
let's go show
Krishna, meaning the heroic death. His second wish was to see the full Kurukshetra war even after his death. Krishna agreed to all the three wishes of Aravan but was unable to find a woman who wanted to marry Aravan just to live the rest of her life as a widow. Krishna solves this dilemma by taking the form of Mohini, the enchantress. Krishna, as Mohini, married.
See what Krishna did? Took on the form of a woman and married a mortal. But he's supposed to be a male deity. Hence your inspiration for the transgender movement from the Indian gods.
Aravan, spending the night with him. While some people believed this marriage was consummated, others lay a strong contradiction that Mohini abruptly departed after the marriage, and thus signifying that the marriage was not consummated. In any case, what follows is agreed by all Tamil texts. After Aravan requested and was granted his boons, he was ready for the sacrifice. He proceeds to the Kurukshetra battlefield. While Yudhishthira was worshipping Kali in his hall of weapons, Aravan removes his chest plate and ornaments. He then cuts his body into 32 pieces. Aravan, after being stripped of his flesh, has only his head and skeleton remaining.
Did y'all hear this? That boy cut himself into 32 pieces. Nothing left but what he was stripped of his flesh, so they flayed him. Has only his head and skeleton remaining. Yeah, boy, the deities.
Krishna advises him to pray to the Naga Adishesha, his grandfather and the father of Ulupi. Adishesha coils himself around Aravan.
There's another god showing his hindquarters. Let's keep moving. past this madness. What's up with the God trying to show you his hindquarters? Cuz that's crazy, man. You got the deity trying to show you his rectum. What the hell is going on around her? Well, can't be the creator, you know, form and figure of a man or a mermaid or a siren. That's probably where you get the inspiration for assless chaps. Man, what is going on with these Indian guys? Cuz that's crazy. Shaggy Dave, what's the word, Hood? Oh man, you seeing this, man? I just don't know, man. This is starting to get like real goofy. But you can see the evidence of the false gods working behind the scenes. Y'all, this is Krishna. This blue nigga right here. Nigga got about 4 arms. You dig? But that's supposed to be him a boy. But just transformed into a girl, an enchantress named Mohini, and went and laid with Avaron. Then he hops up and gets sacrificed, chopped into 32 pieces, skin flayed up off his body. You feel me? It wasn't nothing left what the head and the skeleton. Man, look, y'all better leave me alone, bro.
Prays to Lord Garud, the eagle of Vishnu, and defeats Adishesha. Adishesh escapes in the fear of Garud, thus leaving Aravan unprotected, and ultimately leading Alambusha to behead the weakened Aravan.
Dang.
To fulfill his second wish, Lord Krishna kept the head of Aravan alive. Aravan was now able.
Did y'all hear that? This nigga Krishna keeps the head of the dude that was sacrificed alive. Keep the head alive. So when you see this head, you walk past this shrine and see this evil looking ass head right here, that's the head of Avaron, who the Lord Krishna kept alive. Avaron was able to watch the entire war through the eyes of his severed head. What is we even talking about her? Man, hold on. You mean to tell he done kept the dude head alive so he could watch the entire war through his severed head?
Able to watch the entire war through the eyes of his severed head. It is mentioned that Lord Krishna also mourns as a widow after the death of Aravan. It is from Aravan's lineage.
Hey, Krishna supposed to be him a boy. Him downstairs, he supposed to be a male, a man, or a male. There's all these metrosexuals these days. But but after Avaron is dead, he's known as his widow. What y'all, this is where the transgender movement is birthed from. From the East Indian deities. Get a kick out of that one, man. Good night. Get a kick out of that one, bro. Dang. Dang, dog. Hold on, man. Hold on, cuz. Snake Krishna was a widow. Him downstairs, or her downstairs. Him/her downstairs. Dead.
After his association with Krishna's female form, that the transgenders are said to have been born. And that is why transgenders or kinnars are also called as Aravan. And that is why transgenders or kinnars are also called as Aravanis in Tamil. That is why
hold on. I gotta hear this.
Have been born and mourns as a widow after the death of Aravan. It is from Aravan's lineage after.
It is from Aravan's lineage after his association with Krishna's female form. We even talking about her. This is crazy. Look at this right here. It is from Avaron's lineage after his association with Krishna's female form. That what?
To his association with Krishna's female form, that the transgenders are said to have been born.
That the transgenders are said to have been born from the lineage of Avaron and Krishna when he transformed into a he, she, a woman, a woman. The transgenders was born out of that. All right, keep thinking it's a game. Look at it.
And that is why transgenders or kinnars are also called as Aravanis in Tamil. That is why in certain parts of southern India,
transgenders are called Avarani
Aravani
because they descend from Avaron and Krishna.
Called as Aravanis in Tamil.
Hold on.
Form that the transgenders are said to have been born, and that is why transgenders or kinnars are also called as Aravani.
Aravanis in Tamil. Transgenders are called Aravanis because they are said to descend from the union between the god Lord Krishna's female form Mohini and this warrior cat named Avaron. Man, look.
In Tamil. That is why in certain parts of southern India, there is an 18-day Aravani festival, which is mostly
there's an 18-day transgender festival in southern India. Yeah. Man.
By the transgender community. During these 18 days, the transgenders, also known as kinnars or Aravanis in Tamil, enact the story of Aravan as a play. The Aravanis are married to Aravan as his bride, and when the sacrifice...
Yeah, that's a live ceremony. Transgender ceremony to the god Krishna and Aravan in Krishna's female form. 18-day festival, boy. I can only man look.
Of Aravan is enacted. The Aravanis become the widow of Aravan and mourn his death by breaking their bangles, beating their chest, and discarding their bridal jewelry. However, in other versions of Mahabharata, this story is much simplified. As per the other versions, Aravan dies on the 18th day on the battlefield, fighting against the Kauravas. While we will never know what part of the story is true and what is not, one way to...
That's what me and Brian was talking about the other day. Like, man, look, that stuff, look, it's so, how they say that, voluminous. Man, it's so many volumes of East Indian Hindu literature and all that. You feel me? Man, look, they don't know how to make heads or tails out of it and different stories of the same event. You feel me? But that's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Appreciate these stories is that Lord Krishna blurred the lines dividing a male from a female. In spite of being a king, a great warrior, and the supreme one, Krishna not only married Aravan, but wailed for him as a widow, which in today's society would be considered a taboo. Through this story, Krishna teaches that masculinity and femininity are only labels that are applied to the bodies being occupied by eternal souls.
Oh, man. Y'all hear how he try to slide that? Masculinity and femininity are only labels that are applied to bodies being occupied by eternal souls. Man, oh, man. Him downstairs. Him downstairs. If y'all getting some understanding, throw me a 7 up in the chat, man. Let's keep working. Let's keep pushing. Show y'all this too. This is good.
Vedabhumi, the land of knowledge. That is one of the names of India, and for a very good reason. If we turn the hidden pages of the history, long before the Islamic invasions and the European colonization, India has been one of the very few civilizations which has a very advanced education system of that times. I'm not saying this. If we turn back the pages of the history before 1000 AD, that's before Mughal invasions and the European colonization began, travelers from Europe, Persia to China used to travel to India to obtain the knowledge as part of this Vedic culture. If you read the books written by Megasthenes, Al-Biruni, or Hyun-Sang, you'll get to know how advanced Indian education system at that times was. The knowledge of ancient India. It is one of the most comprehensive and complex education systems in the world. In this short video, we try to compile how the ancient Indian education system looked like. The heritage of the ancient Indian education and value system as we know today has been largely preserved by the inscriptions on the temples, manuscripts, and verbally transmitted from a teacher to a student. These are the three main sources from which we have been preserving the Vedic education system till today. Now let's see what they are. For ease of understanding, we have put it this way. There are 6 broad categories of Indian scriptures which hold the entire knowledge system. They are Shruti, Smriti, Purana, Itihasam, Agamam, Siddhantam. And they cover a diverse set of fields of.
My brother Bronze can verify all this, y'all. You know what I mean? So tap in with Bronze. Bronze the one that straight up studied this stuff. You feel me? And he straight told me, like, bro, you can't even, like, yeah, it's too voluminous and it all contradicts anyway. You feel me? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's almost as if the gods, the false gods, keep you chasing your tail when you get into all this. You feel me? Because you're so busy trying to arrive at a state of consciousness called nirvana, you know what I mean, or paradise, that you really not tripping off the discrepancies and the contradictions, or even the evidence that there are spirits and entities behind all this. You know what I mean? We being played. Watch this.
Education like mathematics, physics, biology, philosophy, astronomy, health sciences, linguistics, and many other branches of science and technology besides the theological concepts. Starting with the first one, Shruti. Shruti is well known as the Vedas, and there are 4 of them: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Samaveda, and Atharvana Veda.
We're going to read about Veda today. Veda actually was a son of Brahma. You know what I mean? And then what has happened is that Brahma was a man. They got him as a god today. Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. It's like the Trinity over that way. You dig? We're going to get YHWH's breaks all this down and shows you when it was first getting written and why it's so voluminous and why it contradicts and why the way of the creator really was preserved through the true Brahma, true faith is in them, you know, orally. Because what was written down, they really couldn't make heads or tails of it. You know what I mean? So it's passed down orally, and that's that brotherhood of light. So when you hear us talking about the Brahmin, we ain't talking about the Brahmins that rose centuries later, you know what I mean, that was under the inspiration of a false deity who just took on the name of a famous man. So they wouldn't have to work to establish their own name. Brahma was already a famous name. All right, they switched the doctrine. So now they deify a man, make him a god. You know what I mean? Bring out the Vedas and all that. Not realizing Veda was a son of Brahma. Brahma was a man. We're going to read about some of it today in YHWH. You feel me? What I'm saying, YHWH is the great decoder. Yeah, I said it. I know somebody going to be mad, but it's the truth. Watch this.
Rig means praise, a form of expressing the gratitude. It explains about the various hymns praising the elements of nature and cosmos. And the second one is Yajur Veda. Yajur means worship. It explains about different procedures of worship of the nature and cosmos. And the third
So we talking about worship. We talking about worship. You talking about worship. Look, if you worship any god, that god is false. And no, we're not atheists. But the creator is not a god, if you want to use it in that sense. The creator is the creator of all gods. Gods and goddesses are nothing more than your brothers and sisters who have lived on this earth or some physical earth and have crossed over and have risen to the rank of a god or a goddess. They are not to be worshipped or praised. No God, no Lord, no Lord God, no goddess, no lordess, chief, chieftainess, none of that. Only the creator is to be served through righteous work done unto others. That's it. Anything outside of that, that's anything outside created that is worship is false. See, so they got the worship in here. YAHWH means worship. So that's the worship beat. It explains different procedures of worship of the nature and cosmos. So, well, Malachi, what's wrong with that? Because what you call nature and cosmos is still the creation and not the creator. You feel me? Show you how idiotic it is. It's like me giving you a big head Ben Franklin, $100 bill, and you thanking the big head Ben Franklin. Thank you so much. Thank you. I just think you gonna thank the big head Ben Franklin or me. I'm the one gave it to you. So it's the same thing. Like we're busy. The false gods got mankind chasing their tail and not really making any sense out of this whole voluminous text or mini text over it. And he got you chasing your tail. Chasing your tail. You feel me? Look at this.
One is Samaveda. Sama means song. It gives a music-driven canonical format to the other Vedas for ease of recitation. The fourth one is Atharvana Veda. Atharva means stable mind. It sets the rules for a steady state daily life activities that needs to be observed in a Vedic culture. All these four Vedas are not just like any other four ordinary books. You will not understand a word of it unless you are blessed with a guru who can explain to you what each of these mean. And they are highly interconnected with each other. Further down, if we look into any of these four Vedas, it has four fundamental blocks. Aranyaka, Brahmana, Samhita, Upanishad, supported by 6 external blocks. Siksha, Vyakarana, Chandas, Nirukta, Jyotisha, and Kalpa. We'll keep it very simple, not going into further details. The 4 internal blocks of Aranyaka, Brahmana, Samhita, and Upanishads, they describe the theosophical, philosophical, and physiological anatomy of the cosmos and the nature and the fundamentals of human existence. In simple words, it describes Brahman, which means the ultimate and the supreme power of the existence. The 6 external blocks, Siksha, Vyakarana, Chandas, Nirukta, Jyotisha, and Kalpa, these are called as Vedangas. They complement the knowledge framework of Vedas with different and intricate specializations each. As you see here, Siksha is study of phonetics, Vyakarana is study of grammar, Chandas is study of linguistic rhythm and prosody, Nirukta is study of etymology, Jyotisha is study of astronomy, and Kalpa is study of rituals. All these 6 are called as Vedangas. And that's how the 4 Vedas are supported by the 6 Vedangas. And that is not all. Each of the 4 Vedas have 4 Upavedas as an offspring. Ayurveda, the study of life sciences, ascribing to Rig Veda. Gandharva Veda, study of music, art, and dance, ascribing to Samaveda.
Man, that stuff start getting voluminous on you, boy. Start getting voluminous on you. Watch this. This right here is the 300 Hinduism for beginners, the 330 million gods of Hinduism. Good night, boy. Like, what is we even talking about, man? The 330 million gods of Hinduism, man. Look at this.
So let's get started talking about the 330 million gods of Hinduism. Number 1.
Man, look. So Mali ain't making this up, yo. I ain't making none of this up.
It warms my heart. Thank you. Hinduism is the world's oldest religion, according to many scholars, with roots and customs dating back more than 4,000 years. In many accounts, Hinduism is even older than the Greek myths, the Roman myths, and Judaism itself. So what you're going to see when I tell some of these stories today are the comparisons to your faiths as well. Roughly 95% of the Hindus in the world live in India. Because Hinduism has no specific founder, it's difficult to trace its origins and its history. Hinduism is unique in that it's not a single religion, but a compilation of many traditions and philosophies. So how did Hinduism begin? Hinduism developed from the religion that the Aryans brought to India with them at about 1500 BCE, so about 3,500 years ago. Its beliefs and practices are based on the Vedas, a collection of hymns that refer to actual historical events that Aryan scholars have completed by about 800 BC.
Y'all see that? Hinduism's beliefs and practices are based on the Vedas. We just was showing you a video about the Vedas, right? Most don't know Veda is a son of Brahma. Brahma, before he was a god, was a man that the creator was dealing with. After this man's death, he becomes deified as a god amongst the false gods and all that. That's what you got. Its beliefs and practices are based on the Vedas, a collection of hymns thought to refer to actual historical events that Aryan scholars had completed by about what? 800 BC. So around the time of Homer. Watch this.
Hinduism encourages living a good life with the hope of being rewarded in this life and the next. What I hope that you gather from today is a new understanding of karma. That karma isn't something that necessarily happens in the next life. Karma happens immediately and as quickly as your next breath. Hinduism is the world's third largest religion after Christianity and Islam. Its followers, known as Hindus, number 1.15 billion, or about 15 to 16% of the total world population. Hindus can be found all over the world. Most big populations are in India, Nepal, and Mauritius, but you can find Hindus all over the world. The actual term Hindu is a Persian term that comes to recognize people who lived beyond the river Indus. Hinduism includes a diversity of ideas, of spirituality and traditions, and is fundamentally different from other world religions. There is no ecclesiastical order. There's no pope. There's no leader at the top. There's no unquestionable religious authorities. So there isn't any one person who can say that this is the truth or that this isn't the truth. There's no governing body. There's no prophets. And there's no binding holy book. So as we would call this in the religious...
Man, you free to do what you want, basically. You know what I mean? Like, so it ain't set up, you know how Christianity is set up with an ecclesiastical order, cardinals, bishops, popes, and all that. You dig? There's no sitting top authority like a pope. No governing body, no prophets, and no binding holy book. Right? I know it ain't, man. Look, the books of India are too voluminous, and that ain't even half of what it was. This is crazy. 330 million gods, boy. You might as well put an ad in the paper. Huh? Since we inviting everybody, put an ad in the paper. Any deity can come and take up residence. This is crazy. I caught that. He did say Persia.
Terms, this is the religious wild, wild west. Basic Hindu concepts. Hinduism embraces many religious ideas, but it's mostly and generally referred to as a way of life, less a religion. Many forms of Hinduism are henotheistic, meaning that they believe in one God as supreme, or they believe in one God above all other gods. And this is important to recognize when we consider how Hinduism and its henotheism impacted other world faiths. Hindus believe in God as supreme.
Hold on. He ain't read the whole thing. He didn't read the whole thing. He say most forms of Hinduism are henotheistic, which means they worship a single deity, known as Brahman. Y'all, Brahma was a man. So that shows too that deities or gods or angels are one-time men. Brahma was a man. Stick around. We're going to read his story today. Brahma was a man. They call the creator over that way in Hinduism Brahma or Brahmin. Look at that. Most forms of Hinduism are henotheistic, which means they worship a single deity. We don't worship any deities, known as Brahman, but still recognize other gods and goddesses. Followers believe there are multiple paths to reaching their God. They don't just recognize other gods, God, they worship them. Watch this.
Or they believe in one God above all other gods. And this is important to recognize when we consider how Hinduism and its henotheism impacted other world faiths. Hindus believe in the doctrines of samsara, the cycles, the continuous cycles of life, death, and reincarnation, and karma, the universal law of cause and effect.
That reincarnation is really Hindu. You feel me? Or watch me break the reincarnation down too. You feel me? Let you know that's a doctrine of darkness. You know what I mean? That's like you getting all the way up to receiving your doctorate and your PhD, and tomorrow, boy, you got to go back to kindergarten. You got to go back to kindergarten. You feel me? Watch this.
One of the key thoughts of Hinduism is Atman, the belief in a soul, a personal soul. This philosophy holds that all living creatures have an Atman, or a soul, which is part of the supreme universal soul, Brahman. So each one of us is an Atman, and we belong to the universal soul of Brahman. The goal is to achieve moksha, or salvation, which ends the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. One of the fundamental principles of the religion is the idea that people's actions and thoughts directly impact their life now and their next life. Hindus strive to achieve dharma, which is a code of living that emphasizes good conduct and morality. Hindus revere all living creatures and consider the cow a sacred animal. All of us in the world should be thankful that Hindus do not eat beef. Imagine the condition of our climate today if even 1.15 billion more people were eating beef. Food is an important part of life for Hindus. Most don't eat beef or pork, and many are vegetarians. Did you know that the swastika is actually a symbol of Hinduism and many other ancient faiths? The swastika, which comes from the base swasti, means well-being or good. It later
see that? See how you can take a symbol, you know what I mean, and reinvent it, and then change the meaning behind it. That's actually a Hindu symbol, which represents good luck. Later became associated with evil when Germany's Nazi Party made it their symbol in the 1920s. Y'all see that? Same thing that false gods do. All they do is just take the names of famous men or gods that came before them and just switch the doctrine, switch the meaning. It's the same way today with the rainbow image. Like today, the rainbow image is associated with the LGBTQYZ movement. You know what I mean? But the rainbow, depending on where you're reading about it at, is something good, something righteous. You know what I mean? Represent something. Yeah, that's right, Cal. It is a sun symbol. Native American symbol, all that. Watch this.
later became associated with evil, which is what we remember today under the Nazi Party. But here are some samples of swastikas from around the world that came and originated with Hinduism.
Look at the Star of David. That was around before David. If you want to talk about an historical David, you understand? Which would have been around 900, maybe 1,000 before the Common Era. This goes back to they talking about like 1500s or beyond. So you mean that Star of David with that swastika in the middle predates David himself? Is that really the Star of David or the Magan Dawid, the shield of David? Look at that.
If you remember nothing more about today's talk, I hope that you will remember this. And I'm going to read it because I don't want to make a mistake. Hinduism is a way of life. According to the Supreme Court of India, unlike other religions in the world, The Hindu religion does not claim any one prophet. It does not worship any one God. It does not believe in any one philosophic concept. It does not follow any one set of religious rites or performances. In fact, it does not satisfy the traditional features of a religion or creed. It is a way of life and nothing more. From a Western standpoint, we see it as a religion. In India, the term dharma or way of life is broader than the Western term of religion. For us, we think of religion somehow as something that we do and something that we believe in. For Hindus, this is the way that they live. Their belief impacts every moment from waking till sleeping in their way of life. In fact, so broad is the range of theists that belong to the Hindu faith that Hindus can be polytheistic, belief in many gods, pantheistic, which is a belief that God is immanent in all things, henotheistic, the worship of one God while recognizing other gods, monotheistic, the belief in one and only God, and monistic, the belief that all things come from a source that is distinct from us, transcendent from us. Agnostic, the belief that God is unknowable and the doubt in God. Atheistic, disbelief in God. You can be an atheist and be a Hindu. You can be a non-theist, not really caring about whether or not there's a God or not. And then a humanist, which is where many fall. Belief that the potential value and goodness of human beings should be our sole concern. Humanists emphasize common human needs and seek rational ways of solving human problems. Hinduism has been called the oldest religion in the world and is often referred to as the Sanatana Dharma, the eternal way, meaning that its faith is beyond history. We'll see these claims reverberated through many religions, that this truth is older than time itself. Scholars regard Hinduism as a synthesis of various Indian cultures and traditions with diverse roots and no founder. This Hindu synthesis started to develop in modern-day India and Pakistan around 500 BCE. So 500 years before Christ, the Hindu faith was well developed. Although Hinduism
According to Hindu philosophy, Brahma is regarded as one of the manifestations of the all-pervading reality, the Brahman. According to Eastern philosophy, specifically Hindu philosophy, is responsible.
Yeah, this is called an imperfect creator, understanding Lord Brahma, worshipable Brahma. Man, oh man.
Was to create the material world as we know it. There are a lot of verses glorifying Brahma, the creator God, in the scriptures. But there are also a few narratives that show some of his imperfections. Even today, not many Hindus engage in an active worship of Brahma, the creator. Nobody goes around building temples for Brahma. Based on my memory, there are just 2 or 3 temples dedicated to Brahma in India, and these are very ancient temples. The Brahmapurishwara temple in the south and Pushkar in the north. Why is Brahma not actively worshipped?
Well, they in him downstairs. Look at old Brahma. Mind you, this is not the Brahma we about to go read about it in YHWH'S. You feel me? This is a god. This is a deity. Inventing gods based off men or other gods ain't nothing new, man. They been doing that. Same with Serapis. That's Osiris and Apis. You know what I mean? Jesus, they did the same thing, created a god. You feel me? Based off revolutionary brothers that was standing up during them time periods. You know what I mean? Based off the Messianic movement coming out of Palestine, or what we call Judea. Watch this.
And more importantly, why are there narratives in the Puranas showing some of Brahma's imperfection? What is the symbolism behind this, and what can we learn from this? Before I get into this is not a criticism of Brahma, the god regarded as the creator god.
Dang, so Brahma is regarded as the creator god, but it really ain't nobody worshiping him. How that work? How in the hell is he regarded as the creator over that way? But they hardly ever worship him. They worship in Shiva and all them. What's going on with Brahma? And then he got to give his, he got to give you his disclaimer. I ain't trying to criticize Brahma now. Y'all see this? Hold on. If Brahma is the god of creation over that way, what you mean he's hardly worshipped? Or there's only a few temples? I wonder what they reading about the deity Brahma over in India. Look at this.
More importantly, and this might surprise many, is that most of these narrations that show Brahma in a bad light are narrated by Brahma himself in the Puranas. This is just to understand the symbolism.
He say most of these things that paint him in a bad light are narrated by him. That's crazy.
Of the stories related to Brahma, so we are aware of what the philosophy is. I always view these symbolisms within the light of the ancient knowledge that we discuss. So, according to the Puranas, the 14 worlds comprising our universe, including the one that we are in, are created by Brahma, the creative power.
Okay, so according to the Puranas, that's what it is. Unless anybody knows something different. You feel me? Including the one that we are in are created by Brahma, the creative power. This is Brahma the false, y'all. This is not Brahma in Wasp. It just shows you how, these cats, it's wild how these cats already be around putting in that pain, putting in that work. You feel me? And then people rise up later and deify it and come up with all types of mythos and traditions and add that right on in. And you look up millenniums later, you don't know if you coming or going. Everybody's confused. Look at this.
His descendants are those who populated all these worlds. The Shiva Purana says, Devas, sages, demons, trees, birds, and mountain creepers born of the daughters of Daksa fill the entire space between Patala and Satyaloka. Most Puranas define Brahma being created from the energy of Vishnu, who in turn is a manifestation of the all-pervading reality, the Oversoul, or the impersonal Brahman. I will continue to address by the names given to these energies and not keep calling them out as the manifestations of the Oversoul or the impersonal Brahman. For the sake of clarity, I won't keep repeating this when I call out the names. In one narrative, Brahma, once he wakes up to his sentience, sees the form of Vishnu in all his splendor. When he is welcomed by Vishnu, who addresses him by calling him a dear child, Brahma responds in arrogance. He lashes out, saying that he is the creator of this world. And why was he being addressed as a child? This arrogance that he shows immediately after coming into sentience and to a being that has created him is interesting. Again, the narration of this incident is done by Brahma himself in the Puranas. In this continuing narrative, in the Shiva Purana, Shiva manifests himself as an infinite column of light to show the infiniteness of the all-pervading reality and challenges the divinities to see if they could reach to the head or to the foot of the column. He challenges them to measure the extent of infinity. Brahma tries to travel to the head of the column, but he's not able to reach it. Brahma lies, saying that he traveled and he could see the head of the column. He is chastised heavily for that, but finally forgiven. This is important. He is finally forgiven. So not only is Brahma an egoist, he also lies. Let's go to the next incident. All of Brahma's creations, his so-called 10 sons, are called mind created. That is, created by the mind of Brahma. They're not biological creations. Keeping that in mind, in yet another incident, Brahma creates a beautiful woman and promptly falls in love with her. He is censured for that by Shiva. He ogles at Sati, Rudra's consort, and is again chastised for that. There is a deep symbolism to this story. So Brahma has a lot of ego, he lies, and he lusts after objects he created. What is
Huh? Brahma got ego, he lies, and he lusts after what he's created. But he's the creator. Nah, man. Your cat's been duped, period. Like, you got to realize every religion in the world and every spiritual system in the world, you feel me? Even what you call being an atheist. Because from amongst that ranks rise the false deities and gods. You feel me? Y'all, it's all being spawned and being propelled and influenced by false gods and their emissaries. You feel me? Y'all, it's either the creator side or the other side. It ain't no, there is no in between. There are no neutral game colors in this one or on this one. It's the creator side or the other side. Period. Dang. Look at that part. Watch it.
the symbolism of all these imperfections? Brahma's imperfection is that he is a creator who constantly falls in love with his own creations. As we sit here and judge Brahma, let us ponder upon a verse from another faith. He that is without sin among you, let him cast the first stone. All these imperfections that were exhibited by
man, look, it is what it is, man. You can try to make sense of it. That's the same thing. That's the same thing everybody else be trying to do. They be trying to make sense of it. You feel me? Trying to make something make sense, but it's like, nah, what are you doing? And what are we talking about? Nothing. All right, here, let me go ahead and go here real quick so we can see what's going on. You know what I mean? Share that tab right there. If y'all get some understanding, go ahead and throw me a 4 up in the chat. Bless up. Let me go ahead and pull some of this up right here. In the first book of God, speed, headshot, body blow. Body blow. Pull these up. Pull these up in this deal. A lot of confusion, man. You start realizing, like, dang, this stuff all over the earth, man. I don't care if you're talking about the ancestral worship everybody into now, the voodoos, the hoodoos, all of it, man. It's all, there's a deity behind it, even behind what you call atheism. There's a deity behind it. You know what I mean? It's something inspiring you with unbelief. You dig? That's crazy to me, man. That is crazy. But we're going right here, y'all. The first book of God. All right. Let me pull up these timetables of prophecy real quick so y'all can see where we at. Where we at with it when we're talking about this. What time period. You feel me? Let's see what's going on. All right, timetables. Yeah, man. Some understanding around this deal. Great. All right, here we go. Dang. I think that's what I'm looking for right there. Let's open him on up. Open him on up. And then we're going to read some of this. We're going to read some of this and get some understanding. All right. Hopefully that pop up. That's acting crazy. All right, man. We're going to get back to you. Pop up when you're ready. All right, this right here is the first book of God, speed, body blow. Look what it says. It says, that's the beginning of it. It says, being contemporaneous with the book of Serpenti or Mead's daughter, the creator. Salute, big sis. As the latter book relates to the higher heavens, so the first book of God deals with the lower heavens and with the earth for the same period of time. This is 3953 BC to 1553 BC, if I ain't mistaken. It's a 3,000 year period, roughly. You know what I mean? Up in there. May have been 2,400 years, something like that. But so as the book of Serpenti is about the higher heavens, this book, first book of God, is about the lower heavens and the earth during that same time period. That was called the Orchespeda. This book treats fully of the four great persons chosen by God, namely Poe Japheth, China, inspired by the god Yima. You feel me? And these aren't false gods. These are gods that are on the side of the creator. You see? You get, again, it's the creator and it's everybody else. The gods that inspired these great men were not false gods that were worshipped. You see? That's the difference. All right. So look at this. It says four great persons chosen by God, namely poet Japheth, inspired by God Yima, Brahma of India, inspired by the god Dev, Abram of Persia, that's Abraham, and after of Africa, Urbania, inspired by the god Vishnu. Really? And Iwata of North Guatemala, that's North America. Shout out to the Abos, man. Inspired by the god As, and their inspirations were for the same period of time, known in the kingdoms of heaven as the time of the Orchespeda. These four gods were the chief divine gods of that day, Hachu being Div and the chief. All right, look how it starts out. We can get some understanding, man. See, clarity. And then we're going to look at the Orchespeda and when it was. See, we put the whole timetable on you. We don't leave you guessing, licking your fingers, wondering what's going on. No. This is when it happened. This is what it say. Well, this is the time period. Look at this right here. It's just the creator of creation. See? Yeah. Shouldn't no mumble mouth misfit even have a problem with what we talking about? What did I just say wrong? If you got a problem with that, then that means you just of the other side or with the other side or on the other side anyway. Should nobody be mad at that? Who getting mad at the creator of creations, out of whom all voices are, of whom all things are in semblance, from him and in him these utterances are, by his gods and lords and high-raised angels and mortals. You see that? It's the creator side, then it's the other side. Yeah, if there's a false god, there's a true god. If there's a false goddess like Ashtaroth or Isis, or Aphrodite or Minerva, whoever you claim you calling on, Semiramis. If there are false goddesses, there are true goddesses. Salute Serpenti Armige, you know, Chisivi Anathotes, and you got to tap in with the gang to know who that is. You got to tap in with the gang. You feel me? So the creator has his gods and lords gods and goddesses and lordesses and all that. You feel me? That he call on when he need to go run administration on the physical world. That he call on to bring light and to progress mankind on his sojourn on this physical earth or world. You feel me? But these high-raised gods and goddesses are never worshipped. So when you hear me say, hey, salute to God, Selah Shalom, it ain't blasphemy. Again, for one, God ain't the creator. Two, that's what God is. God is a one-time man who crossed over and became a god, rose to the rank of a god. And trip off this, it's just your big brother. You don't worship God. God is your bruh with an ample experience. You know what I mean? If anything, you'll be in conversation with him. You understand? You ask the creator to share some wisdom with you through his high-raised angels. You feel me? That you can progress yourself and mankind and those around you and all that. You can do righteous work out here. You see? So yeah, it's the creator side and it's the other side. We saying if you worshiping any god, they're false. If you worship the Lord, starts sounding like GMS around here. The Lord, L-O-R-T, the Lord's gonna kill you, niggas, man. That's you look, you ain't get the memo. Huh? We ain't talking about a God or a Lord. You are. Hit different, don't it? I know. The creator of all creations, out of whom all voices are. Feel that. You know what I mean? You got to hold that. What you mean? Nobody should be mad. Nobody should be angry. All right? Look at this word. Look at this word. Easy work, man. Easy work. Look at this. It says, of whom all things are in semblance. From him and in him these utterances are, by his gods and lords, and high-raised angels and mortals. Into whose dominion he gave the earth for the glory of the creator, whose God came and walked and talked with those who had been prepared for the deliverance of his chosen. For the four preserved divisions of the earth, he gave 4 sons of holy light and power for the voice of God and his lords. Poe of Japheth, Abram of Arabenia, Brahma of Venu, and Iwata of Gautama, that's America, whose records are everlasting on the earth, which are testimony that these men were raised up by the Father for his own glory and for the deliverance of men, male and female. How many of y'all knew that Abraham, something that was a push back in the day, try to say Abraham and Brahma are the same one? No, they're not. No, they're not. Abraham, Brahma, Iwata, and Poe were all 4 sons of holy light, born at the same time, at the same exact time, in 4 different divisions of the earth, to bear witness to the all light of the creator. During the Ark of Spita, 3953 BC. Let me see if it come up now. Let me try to pull it up for y'all so I can show y'all the time period. All right. So now, how she had the creator get down, he cornered the whole thing. Right? Abraham, you over there in Africa. Brahma, you in India. Poe, you in China. And then all the way over here, you know what I mean? He got big dog over here. Iwata. And you'll still see signs and highways name, but it'll say Hiawatha or something like that. It's Iwata. You dig? Name still in the earth. Let me see if this come up for us real quick, man. Everybody playing around. Yeah, come on up. Timetables of prophecy. That is. Now pull up for me. Yeah. Get on up here. Get on up here. Get on up here. See that deal gonna come on up. All right. Till then, let's get on over here to the story of Brahma. And let's work. Ain't that one. All right, here we go. Right here. All right, now remember, Brahma is a man, y'all. Brahma is a man. You dig? All right, so we're going to go to chapter 14 of God's first book. All right? We're going to do a little jumping around. I got to do this just to kind of show where I'm going with it, all right? All right, same book we were just reading. All right, doing this Ark of Spita. Did it ever pop up for me? I think it did. All right, there that go. All right, so look, I got to stop sharing real quick and then put my screen share on a different time period so y'all can see. Hold on. Let me stop this. Let me stop the screen real quick and then go back in. I'm glad everybody getting some understanding in this deal. What you say, Shake? Shaky Day say, I felt you. I'm feeling liberated for real when you start to get some understanding. Yeah, bro. Yeah, and all that so-called pressure from the deities get right up off of you. You feel me? That's what's up, bro. You already know. All right, so let me share the screen again real quick. Wow. Entire screen. Sure. All right, now watch this. Oh, this is the time period. The Ark of Spita, 3953 BC, so roughly 6,000 years ago, y'all. All right, so, all right, this right here is the timetables of prophecy. All right, shout out to the gang, man, for throwing that at me. All right, so all the way over here to the left, you're gonna see a 1, under that 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down. Those are the numbers of the arc cycle. So the first arc cycle, number 1, lasted 3,000 years. It gives you a time period from 71 523 BCE to 68 523 BCE. It was called the Ark of Wan. Okay, the angel sent over the high-raised angel sent by the Creator to bring that administration over 70,000 years ago was an angel by the name of Sathantes. His rank, he was an archangel, and it was called what? The first era of man. All right, Abel and all that's created. All right, but that's over 70,000 years ago, y'all, not 6,000 years. So when we get all the way down to the 23rd arc cycle, after the creation of man, see that number 23 over there to the left? All right, it lasted 2,400 years. All right, the name of the arc cycle was Spita. There goes Spita right there. The name of the angel that was over that arc cycle or the administration was a goddess, actually, a female, named Serpenti Armidi. Salute, big sis. Her rank was an Orion chieftainess, right? And what were they? Abraham, Brahma, Poe, and Iwata. All right, so all this was up under her watch. All this was up under her watch. You feel me? All right, so I want to show the timetables of prophecy, so we ain't just talking and making stuff up. We can actually reference you something and show it to you. All right, so let me stop sharing right there and then pull this right back up. All right, we right back at it. All right, so let me share that. Bang. Bang. That's right back where we at. All right, so y'all know the time period now. Let's get into it. All right, dealing with Brahma, Ben Haoma, and then trip off how all India has all these gods now and how they claim Brahma is the creator with all them imperfections we just read about, right? But how they got all these different deities and gods now based off this man right here, right? Look at it. Ben Haoma counted the faiths. Ben Haoma counted the faiths of his day include men, women, and children. There were 4,000 of them. And all other nations and tribes in India were idolaters, idolaters. Verse 9. Verse 9. Through the descendants of Ramsat, the voice was given again via the Ions, through a tribe called Sri Vyata, who begot Thimsagar, who begot, I ain't even gonna try, Freya Vamargalam, who bred with the Ions and begot Thais, who begot with Ions Anu, there go Anu, who begot with the Ions Anu, who begot with the Ions Maha, who begot with the Ions Bra, who had both voice and power from the Father, and he was called Brahma. Brahma, because of his great wisdom. The angels of Ormazd is the way, or the Persian way they say the creator. Instead of Jehovah, they say Ormazd. You feel me? Yeah, and there are all type of false deities today that go by those same vibrations, but this is before then. See, we always got to make the separation, right? The angels of Ormazd had prophesied, saying, out of your seed shall come one called Brahma, who shall have suis with power. So, meaning he could hear and converse with the spirit realm, suis. You know what I mean? Everybody got a little, cut of it, especially those that whose dreams come true, like deja vu and all that. That's a measure of suis that you got. You feel me? So Brahma was somebody that had it with power. Abraham too. You feel me? Meaning they could hear and converse with the spirit world. You understand? They could understand the high-raised angels and all that. It says one called Brahma, who shall have suis with powers. No, so out of your what seed? Brahma was a man, y'all. Your seed was a man. Now, how the hell is he a god today with temples to him that they call the creator, but hardly ever worship? Like, what's going on with that? Out of your seed shall come one called Brahma, who shall have suis with power. Things that were revealed in Zarathustra have been lost, but shall be recovered in Brahma. Ram said that prophesied, moreover, with the coming of Brahma will come the end of the iron race in Shem, Venju. God spoke in Cosmon, saying, let no man say the beginning. Look at this, yo. Understand this right here. Let no man say the beginning of the doctrine of one spirit began with Brahma, Abram, Po, or Iwata. For since man walked upright on the earth, behold, I have said to him, you shall have only one God, even the Creator. And in the cycles of my times, I have raised up many who have comprehended my words, but others constantly put away the I am and raise up idols instead. That's what we've been seeing, ain't it? That's what we've been seeing. Idols instead. Especially dealing with India. Good night, boy. He says, so it said over this way that don't think that the doctrine of one spirit started even with Abraham and Brahma. No, since man walked upright, I told him about YAH'KI, the Creator. Look at this. But let all men understand who and what is meant. Look at this, y'all. But let all men understand who and what is meant by the terms Po, Abram, Brahma, and Iwata, which is that though I walk the earth with these men, this is what God, a son of the Creator, is saying. Though I walk the earth with these men, teaching and speaking through them, yet none of them was idolized by men. Bag drop, boy. See? So the fact that they gods anyway that are worshiped is completely false and completely off. Let all men understand who and what is meant by the terms Po, Abram, Brahma, and Iwata, which is that though I walk the earth with these men, teaching and speaking through them, yet none of them was idolized by men. They're not worshipped. Brahma is worshipped today. For the nations of the earth in the time of these four men comprehended that they were not gods, but men through whom and to whom I, God, had spoken. Y'all see that? Here you go today. Brahma's worshipped as a god. You don't even know Brahma's a man. A man, a great man, a man that the Creator, that was able to receive the light of the Creator 6,000 years ago. You know what I mean? And brought that light to the region of the world. And then, after he died and passed on, just like with all real ones, then the earth goes through darkness again. And man is inclined to live like an animal, a yeti. You feel me? And he goes into darkness and start worshiping idols and thinking and moving for self. Said these were not men that were idolized or worshiped. The people of the times knew then. You don't know that now. But then they knew that they were not gods, but men through whom and to whom I, God, has spoken. Now let's get into a conversation with Brahma and God and his God. Brahma said, do all men have stars? Behold, since my childhood, I have had a star above my forehead. No man could answer Brahma. They said Brahma is foolish, even with all his wisdom. Brahma asked the star, who are you? God said, I am your star. I am the light of the second heavens. Brahma asked, what is your name, O star, you mysterious light? God said, call me Ormazd. I am the same light that spoke to Zarathustra in his time. Brahma asked, who are you, O Ormazd, you voice of light? Okay, hold on. God said, you shall commune with one only, even your who? Creator. I mean, everything you see going on in India is off. You shall commune with one only, even your Creator. You shall worship one only, even he who made you alive. So your YHWH's be coming through, even clearing up the East Indian philosophies and all that. That's a big mess over there, man. Especially that damn avarice or whatever the 18-day festival to the transgender god Krishna Mohini, and Avaran. And through that, the whole transgender movement was birthed out of the Hindu deities. Krishna, who morphed himself into a woman named Mohini and went to the bed chamber. God said you should commune with one only, even your creator. You should worship one only, even he who made you alive. Brahma said, why have you taken up your abode above my head? God said, attain to be one with your creator. Attain to be one with your creator in wisdom, goodness, and purity. And you shall answer your own questions. Boy, that's cold. That's cold, boy. Already got your answers. You just got to attain to be one with the creator. Right? This is your experience. That's crazy. Look at this. Look at this right here. Look at this right here. Look at this. Then Brahma applied to the Rabbah, the Zarathustrian priests, and he learned abnegation of self and the rites and ceremonies of the ancients. Abnegation of self is denial of self, or you out here working for self-interest. Now you're out here working for others. You feel me? So the Zarathustrian priests who had it 3,000 years or come from a spiritual lineage of 3,000 years before that day, you feel me, taught Brahma, this man, you understand, who had the light of Jaja 6,000 years ago. They taught him one of the first things is abnegation of self. You feel me? Like even dealing with the angels, they mob deep. There ain't nobody dolo. This ain't a self motivated type thing. Now that's why we create a gang, CGG. It's a movement. You know what I mean? It's a family. It ain't just one individual person above nothing. It ain't. Look at it right here. When Brahma was growing up, God said to him, arise tomorrow, my son, and I will lead you into another country where you should marry and settle down for a long season. Now look at this. So he gets told to arise up, and he gets called son. And one of the videos we saw, he got mad when the deity called him a child. Said, I'm the creator. And here Brahma understood Brahma was a man. When Brahma was growing up, God said to him, arise tomorrow, my son, and I will lead you into another country where you should marry and settle down for a long season. Brahma said, peaceful have I been, my slumbers and joyous, my wakeful hours all my life. I have made labor a pleasure. I give all I have to the poor, doing your commandments with all my wisdom and strength. From my youth up, I have not killed any living creature of yours that goes on the earth or swims in the waters or flies in the air, nor have I eaten anything that had ever breathed the breath of life. And I have been abstemious in plain food and water only. See, Brahma was eating how we eat today. You did? Like you'll see that's a consistent thing when you're dealing with a WASPI and all the great men in the divisions of the earth that had the light of the creator on them. One thing they all had in common, they all ate the same way. Yeah, they wasn't chewing on animal sandwiches, loin meat. We're eating a loin sandwich. Tenderloin, huh? What's a tenderloin right there, boy? You eating loin meat, boy? Upper loin or lower loin? You eating upper loin or lower loin? Good night, boy. But you'll see all them ate the same way, man. All of them ate the same way. You feel me? Your diet has a lot to do with your spiritual progression. The diet does. Hear me, O Amas, for I will open my soul to you and hold nothing back. Omas said it as well. Brahma said, whoa. Brahma said, woe is me if my soul turns toward woman. Was I not wed to you, O Omas? Was I not your bridegroom from my youth up? Like, look, you feel me? Like, what you mean go get married? I'm all the way down with what you talking about, right? Why then do you not protect me to yourself? Omas said, in times past, I raised up many and Isu, and they were without flesh desires all their days. He said, in time past, I raised up Isus, I raised up those who didn't have fleshly desires. Huh? Such men could not perpetuate the earth, though. Like, if that's what it is, then guess what you can't do? You can't reproduce. If everybody takes on the mindset of being celibate, then the earth would stop. Huh? So Jah tell them such men could not perpetuate the earth. They were good for their day. Zarathustra was an Isu. My light is not for those who can perpetuate, who can reproduce. All things are possible in my hands. Do not grieve nor smother out any talent I created with the pure in flesh. So Josh, like, look, don't grieve. Ain't nothing to be mad about. Don't smother out the talent, boy. You about to go get some whooping, boy. Oh, yeah, you about to go create life. Brahma said, if I love a woman, or Maz, might I not lose my love for you? Or Maz said, by faith in me, you should triumph by the road I marked out for you. Since before you were born, arise then, O Brahma, and follow your star. I will lead you. Brahma said, can there be another way other than by celibacy? Can a married man serve the creator? So Brahma traveled and came into the country of Yosin, where lay the mountains of Talavitya under King Tiyama, who had enforced the Zarathustrian religion with sword and spear and with chains and death, being himself sole interpreter. Look, this cat done took over, all right, and forcing the understanding, perverting it and forcing it. And he's the only interpreter. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee, ooh-wee. All right, now watch this. Let me click over here. Let me see how far I gotta go with that one. Okay, yeah, that one I want to switch. I'm gonna go over here next. Hold on. Share this one. Same book. Same book. All right, chapter 19. Let's start at verse 23. Yeah, Brahma was a man. You know what I mean? He had spiritual abilities. You know what I mean? So he could hear and converse with angels, talk with them and all that. You feel me? Look at this word. Chapter 19, verse 23. Similarly, the rest of them except Brahma spoke deplorably of their gift of Suis. And when they had finished speaking, the angel of God spoke through Brahma, saying, while it is yet night, I speak. With the dawn and sunrise comes the Father's voice. Hear me then briefly without expecting much wisdom, for I am not long born in heaven. The Creator created two great men. The Creator created two great men, the faithless and the unbeliever. The first is passed through the trials of the flesh and attained to the Father's voice. For in becoming one with the Father, he no longer stands in fear of anything in heaven or earth. The glory of constant resurrection is before him forever. Y'all heard that? Yeah, no fear, fearless of anything in heaven or on earth. Why? Because the glory of constant resurrection. That's what we was talking about. Even our understandings of resurrection is different over this way. Totally different. We're talking about constant resurrection, constant graduation, progression. Jah only made two type of men, the faithless and the unbeliever. It's the creator side and it's the other side. That's it. And attain to the Father's voice, for in becoming one with the Father, he no longer stands in fear of anything in heaven or earth. The glory of constant resurrection is before him forever. All men who have not attained to this may be compared to a man going up a slippery hillside, who often rises high but suddenly slides low. They glorify themselves for their own light, wisdom, and good gifts, rejoicing for self's sake, for the glories they have fallen upon them. But they are what? Cowards. They are cowards. They are cowards. Nevertheless, the Creator created a great man among these, and that is the unbelieving man. He has neither gold nor silver, nor house nor land, and he is without spiritual sight or spiritual hearing, but his glory is understanding his own understanding. So there's even room for those that don't believe. You feel me? Watch this. Watch this. Because sure about this, Brahma's youngest son didn't believe. Brahma had a gang of sons. His youngest son, Hog, He couldn't hear the angels and talk with him, but the rest of his siblings could. So he ain't believe none of it. He just tripped off the great work that his father Brahma was doing. He kept it real with himself, like, yeah, my pops is doing some great work. Like with my own philosophy, I ain't never inspired multitudes of people to be righteous. But Hall couldn't, he wasn't pump faking either. He was like, I can't hear or converse with angels. But y'all can. So he was the unbeliever. And the crazy part about it is, if you finish reading the story, it was the unbeliever, the youngest boy Hog, who they sent into that forest to go grab them books. You know what I mean? Because remember, he can't see nor hear spirits. It was some spirits that ran them boys about that forest. And the Vedi, I think it was Veda or his son Veda, that dropped the books and all that. And they like, man, you got to go back and get that. And he like, hell no, I'm not going back. And Hog was like, nigga, I'll go. Hell wrong with y'all. He did. And he went out there, grabbed him, and came on back with that. And that's an example of how the Creator can use somebody who don't believe or who can't see and converse with spirits. He can use them to still do a great work. You feel me? So look at this. It says, he is the one who subdues the forest and tames the beasts of the field to man's service. He goes alone in the dark, fearing nothing. He does not follow the course of any man, but searches for himself. The priest cannot make him believe, nor can the angels of heaven. None can subdue his judgment. He sees the glory of the earth and manhood. He calls to the multitude, saying, why do you permit others, even priests, to think for you? Arise and be a man. Arise and be a woman. He inspires of the earth and for the earth. Through his arm, tyrants and evil kings are overthrown. Through him, doctrines and religions are sifted to the bottom, and the falsehood and evil in them cast aside. Yes, who but the Creator could have created so great a man as the unbeliever? Right. Somebody got to dive head first into an erupting volcano, to get samples of lava so you can you know what I mean, look at them deals and examine them in your labs. Somebody got to do it. The unbeliever. Somebody got to hang glide off the top of Mount Vesuvius. Somebody got to do it. Yeah, the unbeliever. Because you for sure, the believer for sure ain't finna do that. I'm not hang gliding off Mount Vesuvius. I'm not diving head first into a volcano to collect samples of lava so you can examine them in a lab. No. Let the unbeliever do that. That's what he's for. I'm not climbing I'm not going to rock climbing and climbing up the side of the tallest mountain ever and gang of them rock climbers die and slip off. I'm not finna go do that. No. Let the rock climber do that. The one that don't believe in spirit anyway and have no fear of falling from all types of heights. No. Let the unbeliever do that. Yeah. And these two men, the faithless and the unbeliever, do most of all the good that is done in the world. One labors at the top of the hill, calling up. The other labors at the bottom of the hill, pushing up. Dang. You getting some understanding? Go ahead and throw it, go ahead and throw some bombs up in the chat. Look at this. On the next morning at sunrise, the Creator spoke again through Brahma. And Vedi, there goes his son Vedi. When we was going into the Vedic text earlier, or a video about them, y'all, the Vedic text, Vedi is a son of Brahma. Brahma was a man. Vedi was one of his sons. The unbeliever that he was just talking about was his youngest boy, Hog, who couldn't hear and listen to none of what they was talking. But he had a good heart, though. He just couldn't. He wasn't about to pump fake. Like, I don't hear that. I don't see that. But he had a great heart. Great heart. You know what I mean? Look at this right here. On the next morning at sunrise, the Creator spoke again through Brahma, and Vedi wrote down the words. And on the succeeding morning, the same, and so it continued for 40 days. And in 40 days, behold, the Veda was completed. The holy words of Brahma were written. There it is. Look at that. 40 days. Something about that 40 days, huh? Same thing with Ezra. That's crazy. God said to Brahma, go now and preach my gospel to whoever will listen, proclaiming liberty to all who will follow you. I will be with you to the end, and you shall take Eve, your wife, and all your sons with you, even Hog, the youngest born. So Brahma went forth preaching by day and exhibiting the spirits of the dead by night, but to the chosen he spoke at dawn in the early morning, the time the all light was upon him. And his sons also preached and explained, and Eve explained to all women how it was with her when pregnant with her sons. Only Hog did not preach, nor did he open his mouth before the populace as to his unbelief. In his soul he said, look at this, he said, these things may be true. And if they are true, it is well. If they are not true, still the believing of them by the populace works righteousness and goodness. So Hog say, look, even though I don't believe it, look, even if it ain't true, the fruit of it is still challenging you to be righteous with your neighbor. It's still challenging you to do righteous work. So even if what my father Brahma is talking about is false, right? The end goal that he's pushing is righteousness and good works done unto others. And if that is the end goal, then there ain't a problem with what he's talking about. Whether it's true, whether spirits are real or not. That's what Hog is saying. It don't matter if the spirits are true or not, if the work that is being produced, you understand, is righteous. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. See how he using the unbeliever? Look at this. With all my philosophy, look what Hog's saying. He's an unbeliever. He's the youngest boy of Brahma. Look what he say. With all my philosophy, I cannot move the multitude to righteousness. But my father makes them like a flock, makes them like a flock of sheep. They cease from evil. They practice good fellowship. Therefore, I will stand with my father to the end. Man, look, that's his youngest boy. His youngest boy said, I'm standing with Pops. It don't matter if what he's saying true or not. Look at the work that's being produced behind it. It don't matter if the spirits are real or not, if I can hear them or not. Look at the work that's being produced. Me and all my unbelieving philosophy, I can't move the multitude to righteousness. But my father make a move like it ain't nothing. They cease from doing evil and they practice good fellowship. I'm standing with Pops then. You see, we got to get to the point to where we get past all the, what goes on in front of us, y'all, and look at the fruit of the labor. You understand? Look at what is being produced. That's what YAH'S is looking for. What is being produced? I heard you talking, you yelling, you doing your thing, right? But what are you producing? If what you're saying is you living to your highest light and all that, you understand? What are we as the gang producing? You see, are we producing more bands of misfits, or are we producing those who are challenging and aspiring to do righteous work unto others? Because that's what's being graded. You can come up with the fanciest title of your movement and what you got going on or whatever. But remember this, y'all. Remember this. Like the fruit that will be buried from the seeds we planted, the fruits that we got to harvest, you understand, will be proof enough if what we doing is righteous or not. What we produce, what comes after the seed that has been planted, will prove beyond any shadow of a doubt what we doing. Your system you got set up, what is it doing? Is it producing righteousness? Is it challenging those to get out there and do righteous and practice good fellowship? You ain't just telling somebody to get a job, or you just ain't simply handing somebody $1. You going to grab him and show him how to get $1. Showing him how to get a job. Showing him how to go ahead and learn a trade so he can get on out there and produce for his family, no longer depend on you. Like real charity is you leveling somebody up, showing them how to get it so they can do for themselves and others. Hog said, I'm standing with Pops to the end because what he producing is solid. You can't argue with it. Can't argue with it. Look at this. Look at this. Verse 4. That's what we talking about. You understand? Now everybody around is saying creator more and more, man. That's a beautiful thing. I be sitting back tripping off that. I say, dang, everybody's saying creator now, man. You feel me? So these seeds were planted by the gang a long time ago, a couple years ago. You feel me? And now they starting to fruition. Everybody's saying creator, correcting themselves now, especially when they talk to you. They be like, oh yeah, man, Most High God. I mean creator. Son. That mean you listening. Creator up in that soul, boy. Look at this. When Brahma came near the city, he halted outside the walls because there, according to law, the kings could not restrain his speech. And the multitude came out of the city to hear him. To hear him. And many did not return, preferring to remain with Brahma and his sons in their camp. And when Brahma moved to another city, they went with him. And in a little while, the hosts of Brahma were as an army of thousands. Y'all see this fatus? See, that's how you gotta move. You move out body. You don't know how many numbers we got. The creator gang is counting. I'm like, who? The hell they had? Dang, you too? Look at this. And not a few of them, were men and women of wealth. And not a few of them, were men and women of wealth. And they cast their treasures at Brahma's feet, saying, take this trash and give me of everlasting life instead. But men of learning did not come to Brahma, nor did the priests, kings, magicians, or consultants of oracles. God said, take your hosts and establish them in families of tens, and of 20s, and hundreds, and thousands, and give a head father to each and every family. And your people shall be a people to themselves, having nothing in common with the king's peoples. Y'all see the communal living? Same thing is saying in the book of Acts, in the Acts chapter 2 and Acts chapter 4. Same way the Essenes and Nazarenes live. They live communally. They lived amongst each other. Shout out to anybody in any movement that's doing that. You know what I mean? Because that's part of it. We supposed to be mobilizing into communities and sharing our resources. Because that's how the angels move. It's deeper than it's just written down. That's what it says. The angels move like that. They move as an organic body of faiths in the great spirit. You feel me? And something got to get done. They all put their force, their concentrated effort and force behind that. They got to get done, and they get done quick. But this is part of that. You know what I mean? Coming out of her or living according to your highest light. Y'all, we got to, eventually we got to get about these cities because separate, we sitting ducks. Look at this. Behold, my angel will go with you and show you the wastelands, those that the king's peoples do not desire. And you and your people shall what? Possess the lands and dwell together in love and wisdom and doing good to one another. Jaja, like, look, I'm so cold. Look, y'all finna go take the wastelands, every piece of land that the king's peoples and them don't want. And guess what we do, y'all? We turn that into an oasis. But remember, we the scientists anyway. We the botanists. We the scientists. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that got their green thumb and all that. You feel me? We all that. So it ain't nothing for us to get something cracking, get some irrigation flowing, plant a few trees, plant some seeds. You dig? There ain't nothing to get nothing cracking. Look at this. So Brahma did as commanded, and he established the mountains of Roam and the valleys in the mountains of Roam, and his people dwelt there, being 6,820 men, women, and children. And there came to Brahma a certain captain general of the army of Sayataha of the west kingdom of India, in which lay the city of Scamagramus of 1,000,000 inhabitants. And he said to Brahma, look at this. In the name of the king, mightiest of men, Sayataha, I am before you, O Brahma. Behold, the king sends you gold, silver, and copper, saying, Brahma is good. Brahma shall give me the blessing of heaven. Brahma answered the captain general, saying, Brahma salutes the king, mightiest of men, Sayataha, in the name of the creator, in love and in these wise words that come to the soul of Brahma. Brahma sends the king's servant, who is the captain general, back to the king with his gold, silver, and copper, saying, deal with your who? Deal with your creator. Deal with your creator and not with men. The great spirit holds all blessings in his own hands. Give him your treasure. So he like, look, you can't spend money with me to get a blessing, right? Deal with your creator and not with men. Let that be understood amongst us. You feel me? Let that be understood amongst us. See, dude tried to go ahead and get in good with Brahma because he understood that the creator was dealing with Brahma, correct? That's what he understood. But then he wanted to pay for a blessing. And he was like, nah, player, deal with your creator and not with men. The great spirit holds all blessings in his own hands. Give him your treasures. All right. Verse 12. Look at this. Verse 12. The captain general departed and returned with his gold, silver, and copper to the king, and told the king Brahma's words. The king was pleased with the wisdom of Brahma, but also felt rebuked and sore at heart. So Ahmaz allowed Satan to possess the king for a season, and the king resolved to destroy Brahma and all his people. And he commanded the captain general to assemble together 50,000 men with arms ready for battle. And when they were thus prepared and started on their journey, which would require 7 days, the king thought to inquire of the oracle as to his best mode of success. Now the angel of God had taken possession of the oracle. But the Magi did not know it, nor did Sayathaha. So the king came before the sand table. So the king came before the sand table, and the spirit wrote these words: He who has become one with Ahmaz is mightier than an army. He who has become mightier than Ahmaz is he who has become one with Ahmaz, is mightier than an army. Take off your crown, O king, mightiest of men. Take off your crown, O king, mightiest of men, and your golden robes, and all that is fine and fur to look upon, and clothe yourself in the poorest of garments, like a drunk who wanders about. But your crown and your costly robes and your raiment, fine and fur to look upon, put them on your body servant. And the prayer you shall go in advance of the army as you come before Brahma. Look at that. So he like, look, go ahead and take off your noble garments and all that, and put on the garments of a wanderer, a beggar, a drunk, huh? And the pair of you shall go in advance. And the pair of you shall go in advance of the army as you come before Brahma. Look at this. And you shall witness. Hold on for a second, y'all. Right here, verse 14. And you shall witness that man who professes to labor for the poor, and you shall witness that man who professes to labor for the poor fall on his belly before the man of riches and power. And you shall witness that man who professes to labor for the poor fall on his belly before the man of riches and power. And behold, O king, you shall feel justified in destroying him who falls before the crown and robes, knowing he is a hypocrite. Now remember, they didn't switch clothes. The king was pleased with this, and he fulfilled all that was commanded by the oracle. And when he came near Brahma's camp, a man came before the king's servant, saying, Behold, O king, command me as you will. A man came before the king's servant, saying, Behold, O king, command me as you will. Because remember, the real king got on what? He got on the garments of a wanderer, a drunk. Behold, O king, command me as you will. And he prostrated himself, but that ain't the real king. And he prostrated himself on the ground before the king's servant, at which the king, dressed as a drunk, came to him and said, Who are you? And the man answered, Be gone, beggar, my matters with the king, for he mistook which was which. The king ordered the man to be seized and taken away and put to death. And the advance guard fell upon the man and slew him with war clubs. And when the man was quite dead, behold, Brahma came. And the king did not know him, nor did any of his advance guard. And Vus and Weish were with their father. And the three came and stood by the dead man. Brahma then took the king's hand, saying, You dressed in the garment of a drunk, come here, for you have flesh and blood toward holiness. Lay one hand on the dead man, put your other hand on my head, for I will prove creator before your eyes. Behold, you who have tried to kill Brahma killed another person. And when the king's hands were placed, Brahma stood by the head of the dead man, and his two sons by the heart, And Brahma said, in your name, O Ormaz, and by your power in me, return to life, O man, and arise, arise, arise. And behold, the man was brought to life and rose up and stood before the multitude. The king trembled with fear, and the guard stood aback. And the guard stood aback, amazed. And as for the servant arrayed in the king's garment, he cast aside the crown and robes and fled into the forest. Brahma said to the king, here stands the angel of the creator. And the angel says, you are the king in disguise. And moreover, that he, the angel, commanded you here for this purpose, saying to you in the oracle, he who has become one with Ormaz is mightier than an army. Huh? This is what the real Brahma was talking about. And that's something we all can learn, man. As we strive to become one in one with our maker, our creator, we're mightier than any army on this earth. You see? Remember, Owaspi tells you that the study and the fidelity to your creator and your fellow man should become the most sacred study of your life. So then Brahma reminds the king disguised as a drunk. Remember what the angel said to you. He who has become one with the creator is mightier than an army. The king said, this is true. I swear before you, O creator, from this time forward, I will wear such garments as these I have on. The king like, man, look, I'm straight. I'm done putting on my going out clothes. I will wear such garments as these I have on, and my life shall be given to your service. You see this? You see the oath, the covenant the king is making to the creator. And my life shall be given to your service. Let who will take my kingdom and all I call mine. Dang. So Sayataha joined Brahma's host. And with Sayataha came his brothers and their sons and daughters, and those who came cast into a heap whatever goods or monies they had. And the head fathers of the families divided and distributed the same according to their best wisdom. And Brahma's people, by commandment of Brahma, called themselves not Brahmins, but Vedans, that is, truth followers. Now trip off this. Now trip off the text. Trip off the text. In those days, the language of the kings of India and of men of learning was all owls, signifying out of all that is good. Now remember, this is 6,000 years ago. This is 2,000 years and some change, 2,400 years before all the gods and stuff in India that you know today. This is way before then. This is way before then. But the Vedans were the unlearned. Their language was imperfect and had many meanings for every spoken and written word. That's how you know. Like all those Hindu texts and all that. Man, there's so many different meanings for so many different words. Remember, you can't make head or tail out of none of it, man. But the Vedans were the unlearned, and their language was imperfect and had many meanings for every spoken and written word. And God foresaw, look at this, and God foresaw the liability to corruption of the Brahmin religion, which is what you know as Hinduism today. Brahma is worshipped in Hinduism as the creator God. But Brahma was a man, y'all. He was a man. They had sons. The Vedic text is named after his son, Vedi, whatever his name is. And God foresaw the liability to corruption. No, he calls it a liability. And God foresaw the liability to corruption of the Brahmin religion. And he spoke to Brahma, saying, behold, I have given you 7 sons, 6 of light and 1 of darkness. Your 6 sons of light shall each establish a school among my chosen and teach my scriptures by word of mouth. You see that? So the real understanding came orally. Why? Because he knew that the text was going to be corrupted. So, all right, well, check this out. Well, your son's going to teach the real thing, and it's going to be passed down orally. I see that? See? So the real understanding, the real faith is that rocked out in India is you come from a spiritual lineage where the teachings were passed down orally. Yeah. And trip off this. It say right there that God understood that the whole thing will become corrupt. So he said, because of that, this is what you're going to do. Your 6 sons of light shall each establish a school among my chosen and teach my scriptures by word of mouth. And all who afterward become rabbis shall be capable of repeating every word of the Veda by heart. Who you know can do that? Huh? It's too voluminous. You can't even do it. It's too voluminous. You see? It was an oral thing. Oral. What they reading today is all corrupted. And it said it was prophesied that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. And if in latter times the plates and the books of my holy religion are destroyed by war, it will not matter. The substance of your labor shall live. Then Brahma's sons did as commanded, each and every one becoming a teacher. And again, God spoke to Brahma, saying, arise and go where my angel will lead you, taking your wife and your son hog with you. You shall travel from place to place for 2 years, and the return here for your labor will be completed. Dang, boy. Dang, boy. That's serious business. Yeah, man. Brahma was a man. Man who had sons and daughters. I mean, you had sons, you know what I mean? And you see what roughly 2,400 years later, you got what's called Brahma the False. You got what's called Brahma the False. Matter of fact, let me read some of that to you. Show y'all some of this. You know what I mean? So that's all. It's turned up on his head, or turned over on his head up there in India. That's what's going on, man. Just don't know what the hell is going on. All right, hold on. Let me go back to whatchamacallit. Show y'all that real quick, man. They don't know what's going on with none of that. All right, previous. Yeah, right there. Flip over. On down. I think that's it right there. Yeah. Let me share that with y'all. Dang. So right back up here, top of the page. All right, right here. I mean, it's chapter 14. The first Bible of Venju, which is India. Venju is India. Still give you some ammo around this deal, boy. All right, there you go. All right, the first Bible of India being of Brahma, a man chosen by God for the children of India, Venju, giving an account of Brahma becoming an issue of his labors and his resurrection after death. All right, so let's read some of these footnotes over here. All right, so you can see there's a difference. It's like there's a difference with Osiris, the real Osiris, and Osiris the false. And Owaspy is the same with Brahma. Same with Brahma. All right, this Brahma, the first, Adonai later, a false god Kabbalistes, using the name of Brahma, would do much destruction in India. Y'all see this? This is Brahma the first, Adonai later, an archecycle later, a false god, Kabbalistes, using the name of Brahma, would do much destruction in India. And afterward, another self-god, Enochisia, falsely took the name Brahma. So you got 2 false gods that took the name Brahma, based off how solid this bro was. A whole archecycle later. Look at this. Accordingly, it should be noted that Brahma the first had nothing to do with shaping modern Brahmanism. So what you see Hinduism and all that ain't got nothing to do with bro we talking about. Nothing. Accordingly, it should be noted that Brahma the first had nothing to do with shaping modern Brahmanism, but the later false gods would pick over the doctrines and twist or reject them according to their profitability to the false god. You see that? We ain't making none of this up, y'all. See, all the false gods and deities are being exposed. It ain't just in Quran. This ain't just in Bible. You know what I mean? Now, the false gods, y'all, are everywhere. You name, there ain't a spiritual system you can name that don't got deity worship behind it. Not one. There ain't a spiritual system you can name that don't have deity worship. And that has made a separation between the creator and the deities. That's what we doing. Clearing it up. Like, you ain't supposed to be worshiping the Lord God or Savior anyway. Dang. That part. Look at this. The student must remember that these are Vedic terms belonging to Upper and Lower Tibet, or what in a general and better sense may be called the mountains and the valleys of India. YHWH'S evidently refers to the Himalayas and Tibetan plateau, whereas Hojan Dativi presumably refers to the landmass south and east of the Himalayas. Post-flood outline map of the world. Nearly all we have left of ancient Greek sprang from these ancient histories in the production of languages and of gods. India exceeds all the rest of the earth put together. Dang. Look at this. Look at this one. For convenience of identification in this OWASP, the spelling Brahmins refers to the followers of Brahma the first and true, as described in this Vinjua India Bible. On the other hand, those who later falsely used or took on the name of Brahma, we have been given the spelling Brahmin. Brahmins and Brahmanism, as with any name in OWASP, if found in man's historical records, their spellings and even meanings may vary. See that? So yeah, them niggas over there talking about Brahma in Hinduism is one of the creator gods, and we just made a distinction today and showed you the difference. You know what I mean? So don't try to play us like what we saying is, you know what I mean? Like, man, you niggas worshiping. Nah, we ain't doing none of that. What you talking about? What is you talking about? Nothing. You ain't talking about that, man. Just running your mouth, cat. God's Book of Ben, OSB, headshot. Body blow. Dang, you keep dumping Malaki. Yeah, man. We ain't playing no game. Or the Book of the 9 Entities. You ain't playing with him. Gotta let him know what time it is. Sometimes called the Book of the 9 Entities, being the tree of all light. Creator at the top. And you got his creation. All right, so we can understand what we're looking at. All right, Creator of Jehovah. Jehovah is equivalent to the all highest light, the all knowledge. Tay said, the word Tay is equivalent to the words, the highest general expression of mankind or the universal voice was. Corpor said, corpor signifies whatever has length, breadth, and thickness, so physicality, what you can measure, you know what I mean, what you can record. Ooze or Uz said, Uz is equivalent to the vanishment of things, seen into things unseen. Uz is also equivalent to worldliness or world's people. As Foma said, equivalent to there is something in the wind, or as things seem to indicate, signs of the times. S said, equivalent to the unseen world, also to the spirit world, the testimony of angels, also spirit. Hawk said, darkness, ignorance is hawk. Darkness may be physical or spiritual. Dark ages or a time of anarchy and false philosophy. Cosmon said, the present era, all knowledge in possession of man, embracing physical and spiritual knowledge, sufficiently proven. Suffice says, suffice is equivalent to the established or the enforced as the laws of the land or the religion of the land is established. God said, these are the 9 entities. God said, these are the 9 entities, or according to the ancients, the creator and his 8 children, his sons and daughters. And these are the same which in all ages poets and philosophers have made to speak as the family of the universe. Through them I speak. The creator is the light, that is knowledge. The manifestation of knowledge in man is the creator. The growth of wisdom in man as the earth grows older is the tree of light. All right, let's get into it. God said, before the ark of bond, the earth was rank. The seed of the tree of light had been planted many times, but the rankness destroyed it. In time of the ark of bond, the earth reached maturity. The Creator said, I gave to the inhabitants of the earth Capilla, Moses, and Chini. Now, this is the ark cycle right after Abraham and Brahman. That's when Moses and them come on the scene, roughly 4,000 years ago. Through them, the tree of light was made everlasting on the earth. The great peoples then knew I was God, and my word was with them. S had spoken, spirit had spoken before that day, and man knew the presence of angels, but he did not heed them. My word came, man listened and took notice. Mine was with authority. Emblems, look at this right here. Jaja voice with authority, boy. Emblems, signs, and symbols were the letters of man's alphabet to lead him upward in wisdom. You heard that? Emblems, signs, and symbols were the letters of man's alphabet. Signs, symbols, and emblems were your letters to lead him upward in wisdom. Wisdom does not come suddenly as darkness goes away, light comes. Wisdom does not come suddenly. As darkness goes away, light comes. Great knowledge is all around. To make man perceive it is the labor of God. Dang. Man said, I have looked into corporate. Corporate is your physical reality, what you can tangibly handle, what you can measure, what you can cut, what you can record. Man said, I've looked into corporate, but did not find knowledge. Corporate said, does your flesh know? Do your bones have knowledge? Is it in the blood? The Creator said, I am knowledge. Come to me. I am knowledge. Come to me. I am the unseen. Behold yourself, O man. Can you put your finger on the place and say, here is knowledge? Does wisdom have bulk and a place? Hawk said, which is darkness or ignorance. Let me say, Hawk said, who knows the boundary of light? Behold, I cannot hide away from him. What is my small corner compared with the all light of Etheria? The Creator says, do not think. The Creator says, do not think that the vault of the firmament is nothing. For there I have created Etherian worlds of sizes equal to the corporeal worlds, but they are independent of them. These are my kingdoms prepared for the spirits of men, the women and children whom I bring forth into life on corporate and physicality. Nor are my Etherian worlds alike in density or motion, but of different consistencies, so they may be suitable for the varied advancement of my children. Boy, that is cold dirt, boy. That is cold. That is cold. Let's read that again. View that image, boy. Man, that was cold right there, boy. Now look at this image as I read this. Look at this image as I read this. All right, it says, Jehovah said, do not think that the vault of the firmament is nothing. It's called a boss cluster right there, y'all. Look at all those galaxies, swirling galaxies linked together. Shout out to my brother, Young Prince. Prince Judah posted this the other day. I say, boy, dang, look at that. Jaja says, do not think that the vault of the firmament is nothing. For there I have created Etherian worlds. Y'all see them? Of sizes equal to the corporeal worlds, but they are independent of them. These are my kingdoms. Prepared, look what you're looking at. Prepared for the spirits of men, women, and children whom I bring forth into life on corpora. Nor are my ethereal worlds alike in density or motion, but of different consistencies, so they may be suitable for the varied advancement of my children. Y'all see that? Look what you're looking at. See, the Creator shows you. You can't physically see the Creator, but you can see the Creator's motion. You can see his work. You see that? Look at this right here. So everybody, so people don't think we playing around these pods. Yeah. Watch this right here. Watch this right here. Oh, what chapter is that? That's chapter 1. Oh, hold on. I'm in the wrong thing. Yeah, my bad. I knew I was tripping. Like, man, what the hell's going on? I went back too far. Go down. Previous. Nope. Next. Right here. I'm finna say, man, what is going on around here? So y'all see that right there, right? Yeah, it does Elijah 7. Exactly. That's my point. That's my point exactly. See that? Now let's share this right here. This is the book of Jehovah, book of the Creator. Huh? Look at that right there. Then let's go read about some of that. That right there is an old wasp. Yeah. Absolutely. Let's read some of this. So everybody think it's a game. What you think, a plan? Chapter 3, book of Jehovah, chapter 3. Thus spoke the Creator by the light of Cosmon. He proclaimed these things among the nations of the earth. Man, look upward in prayer. Man, look upward in prayer. I'm going to read this and put that galaxy and stuff back on there. All right. Now look at that as I read this. Man, look upward in prayer, desiring to know the way of all created things, both on earth and in heaven. And the Creator answered him, saying, the Creator answered him, saying, look at all that, y'all. The Creator answered him, saying, the whirlwind I made as a sign to man of the way of my created worlds. Y'all look at all them swirling galaxies in the heavens. And the Creator say that the whirlwind was made as a sign. So you see tornadoes and hurricanes and all that. There are rotaries and vortices in the heavens as proof of what you're looking at. The whirlwind I made is a sign to man of the way of my created worlds. As you see the power of the whirlwind gathering up the dust of the earth and driving it together, know that likewise I bring together, look at what you're looking at. Know that likewise I bring together the YAH'KI, HICKMAN, and Nebula in the firmament of heaven by the power of the whirlwind. So just like a tornado gathers up dust and all that, water, hurricane, right? When the vortex spins in the heavens, it gathers together space substance, nebula. Waspi calls it YAH'I, HI nebula in the firmament of heaven by the power of the whirlwind. Look at that. See, so we're reading it here, revealed in 1881, and these are images that James Webb Telescope are just now capturing. And all you see is whirlwinds, vortices. Look at that. You can't make none of that up, boy. Know that likewise I bring together the YAH'I nebulae in the firmament of heaven by the power of the whirlwind. I create the physical suns, moons, and stars. And I commanded man to name the whirlwinds in the ethereal firmament, and he named them according to their shape, calling them vortices and warks. Look at this. Look at this. I'm back for the side order, boy. Look at this. By the power of rotation. Look at what you're looking at. By the power of rotation, swift driving at the periphery, I condense the atmospheric worlds that float in the firmament. And these become my corporeal worlds in the midst of the vortices. Look at them vortices spinning. Right? All those are those balls of light, you feel me? Or suns being formed, which will one day be habitable earths or planets. In the midst of the vortices, I made them, and by the power of the vortices, I turned them on their axis and carry them in the orbits I allotted to them. Wider than to the moons of a planet, I have created the vortices, and they carry the moons also. Around some of my corporeal worlds, I have given nebulous belts and rings, so that man could comprehend the rotation of my vortexian worlds. Facts. Facts. There go a nebulous, there go a ring right there. You're supposed to look at that and say, well, hold on, That's supposedly Saturn. You're supposed to look at that and say, hold on, what's causing the spinning? You see? What's causing the spinning? What's making it spin? That's crazy. Around some of my corporeal worlds, I have given nebulous belts and rings so that man can comprehend the rotation of my vortexian worlds. Yeah. For each and every corporeal world, I created a what? A vortex first. A vortex first. Every planet, every sun, every moon. There is no planet, sun, moon, and stars, comets, none of it without some type of vortex. Vortexian energy, vortexian current. That's why the heavens are spinning. They don't got no answer for them spiral galaxies. What's causing it to spin? They're going to tell you they're fragments from the Big Bang. For each and every physical world or a planet, or a sun or a moon or a star, I created a what? A vortex first. A vortex first. This ain't nothing like this ain't lick your finger scholarship. We ain't making none of this stuff up. Like, what you mean? What you mean? Nobody has a better cosmogony. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Look at this right here. View this image. Think it's a game? What you think a plan? For each and every corporeal world, I created a vortex first. For each and every corporeal world, I created a vortex first, and by its rotation and from the places in the firmament where it traveled, I caused the vortex to conceive the corporeal world. The headshot. Look at that, y'all. Everything, all those are vortices. All those are vortices. You let a millie mouth misfit. Oh, that's CGI. Negro, you ain't even got no telescope. Stop it. Let alone a James Webb telescope or a Hubble telescope. You can't tell us what's happening up yonder. You ain't never looked at it. For each and every corporeal world, I created a vortex first. There the evidence is right there, y'all. Y'all see all the vortices? You see all that spinning? What do you say? Verse 7. To make the sun, I created a great vortex, and within this vortex and subject to it, I made the vortices of many other corporeal worlds. The sun vortex I caused to rotate, and I gave it power to carry other vortices within it. According to their density and position, they are thus carried forth and around the sun. Do not think, oh man, that I created the sky a barren waste. Look at what you're looking at. That ain't no barren waste. Ain't no barren waste. Do not think, oh man, that I created the sky barren waste and void of use. Even as man in the physical form is adapted to the physical earth, so is he in the spiritual form adapted to my etherian worlds. 3 greatest states have I bestowed on man: the physical or the corporeal, the atmospherian, and the etherian. Back to the book of the 9 entities. Jehovah says, do not think that the vault of the firmament is nothing, for there I have created etherian worlds. You're looking at them. See that? Do not think that the vault of the firmament is nothing, for there I've created etherian worlds of sizes equal to the corporeal worlds, but they are independent of them. These are my kingdoms prepared for the spirits of men. Do y'all hear this? These are my kingdoms prepared. These are my kingdoms prepared. These are my kingdoms prepared Wow. For the spirits of men, women, and children whom I bring forth into life on corporal, nor are my Ethereal worlds alike in density. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Nor are my Ethereal worlds alike in density or motion, but of different consistency, so they may be suitable for the varied advancement of my children. And look what y'all looking at. You never knew those were your universities. Those are the worlds you're going to. You got to graduate and visit all of them. Become advanced and raise up. And when YAH'KI called for you, it did. You got to be ready to go put in that work. What you mean? And help advance those who are beneath you. Right? That never stops. It's everlasting progression. It never stops. The creator never stopped creating, man. Never stop creating. That's beautiful, man. Tap on in with the creator, man. Take the shackles of the false gods above for you. Declare yourself wholly and solely to the creator only, man. Look, we went over earlier how do you escape the toils of the false gods? Covenant yourself to your creator every day by doing righteous service unto others, and stop praying to gods, lords, saviors, and deities. And eschew warfare and contention and all that. If you fulfill these, guess what? The creator will send his Ethereal angels to guard you. So we got the blueprint. We already know what it is, man. We already know what it is. See? Easy work, man. Look at this. Back to the book of the 9 entities of God's book of Ben, Arkaban, headshot. Man said, "Oh world, give me light." Man said, "Oh world, give me light. Give me substantial knowledge so I can put my finger on it and say, here's the real." Ooh said, "Oh man, behold your folly. All things you see, hear, and touch are my abode." Man said, "What do you mean? You are vanishment. All things perish. You are that which is without foundation." God said, "You are both a flesh man and a spirit man. You are both a flesh man and an S man." Shout out to the Essenes. S man, Essenes. Huh? You are both a flesh man and an S man. How can you expect your flesh talents to acquire substantial knowledge? All substance is evanescent. The real is the all light, which you cannot comprehend in entirety. And the flesh man cannot at all. What does evanescent mean? Subject to vanishment. Impermanent fleeting. It says, so all substance is subject to vanishment. The real is the all light, which you cannot comprehend in entirety, and the flesh man cannot at all. Man said, "Why then do I have this craving in my soul for all wisdom? Was my creation in vain?" YAH'KI said, "Because I created you craving for light, you go forth searching. You are on a long road to the summit of all light, which even gods have not attained." Boy, what is you talking about? It's like gods ain't even attained to the summit or reach the top of all light. It never will. To reach that will be you become YAH'KI. You are the creator at that point. No, you never reach the creator. He said gods ain't even attained to that level. You on a long road, player. You on a long journey. But it's an adventurous one. You are on a long road to the summit of all light, which even gods have not attained. Man inquired, "Why then was death created?" Who said, "Behold, even stones molder into dust, but you have had a separate law for man." S said, Spirit said, I am within your physical makeup. I am within your corporate. Your spirit, your real self is within your physical body, correct? It said, I am within your corporal. When your corporate molders into dust, behold, I am the spirit man, your real self. I am your spirit. And like a planted seed, I dwell within your corporal. That's cold. Wait, what you mean? What YAH'KI say? YAH'KI has said, I created the corpora of man as a womb for the spirit of man. So your physical body is just a womb that holds your spirit. By death, behold, spirit is born. Death is just a birth. Death is a birth into the spirit world. You're a newborn spirit. Around my physical worlds, I place atmosphere. For even as the earth and other physical worlds provide a womb for the spirit of man, so have I made the atmosphere as the substance of a womb for the souls of men. Yeah. Man said, if when I am dead, I shall see the place, is the germ of that light not already in me? How am I made that I see but do not see this? Hear but do not hear this? If I am now dead to that which is to be, will I not then be dead to what now is? Give me light, oh Father. And look, YAH'S answered. So you can go right to your Father. Right to your Father. You can go right to your Father. YAH'S said, to man I gave a corporeal body so that he could learn physical or corporeal things. But death I made so that man could rise in spirit and inherit my ethereal worlds. What is you talking about? Everybody else talking about resurrection or reincarnation. They talking about coming back to the earth. What YAH'S say? What the Creator say? Jehovah said, to man I gave a corporeal body so that he could learn corporeal things. But death I made so that man could rise in spirit and inherit my ethereal worlds. You looking at your inheritance, y'all. We can actually see our inheritance every night. That's major, man. That's major. All those are worlds, universities, ethereal worlds. And death was made so you could rise in spirit and inherit that. You see, we ain't dealing with nothing vague. We're dealing with what you can see. You know what I mean? We dealing with what's objective. Dang. Look at that way. Look at that way. Look at this. Look at this. Two senses. Two senses I give to all men. Corporeal senses and spiritual senses. Nevertheless, the two are one person. A man with corporeal physical senses transcending chooses corporeal things. A man with spiritual senses transcending chooses spiritual things. I made two kinds of worlds, corporeal worlds and spiritual worlds. He who desires the physical shall receive from physical, for he corporate is my son, in whom I am well pleased. He who desires of S shall receive from S, for she, S, is my daughter, in whom I am well pleased. Cosmon said, because man lives on physical worlds, corporate is called son, or because man in spirit lives in the S worlds, S is called daughter. Now remember, this is the book of the 9 entities, or the God's book of Ben. Sometimes called the book of the 9 entities. That sounds hard, boy. That sounds hard. You got to create an art through these signs and symbols. Okay, so you got the creative symbol right there up top, and then you got all these other ones. Te, which represent mankind or mankind's expression. S, which represents spirit. That's the she. Okay, corporate, another he, which represents what? Physicality, like what you can tangibly see, the physical realm. HOC represents darkness, ignorance. Ooze is vanishment, worldliness. You know what I mean? Sometimes called the world's people. All right, Cosmon is the present time of balance, the balance of physical knowledge and spiritual knowledge. S-Forma dealing with the wind and all that. And then Suffice. What is that Suffice? I think that slipped my mind, man. Suffice is equivalent to the established or the enforced as the laws of the land or the religion of the land as established. All right, so this is called the God's Book of Ben, or Book of the 9 entities. And when it's going into corporate being a he and S being a she, you understand? Well, you know you got gods and goddesses or sons and daughters of the Creator. You feel me? So, man, that's what it is right there, y'all. We've been on a little bit over 3 hours, a little taste. Wanted to come in and drop a little light real quick. But it's clear to understand, even getting down to the Hinduism and all that's been corrupted, right? Brahma was a man, not a god. They deified him, made him a man. You feel me? And so we show the difference between, you know, when the creator raises up men, you know what I mean, and women to do a major work. That's what he does. And years later, millenniums later, arc cycles later, come the false deities and gods, take on the names of famous men or famous gods, switch up the doctrines, and now you have this big old mess called Hinduism. And 330 million gods. You feel me? Even the drag, even Krishna being the inspiration behind transgenders. I'm like, wow. Wow, give me a vortex up in the chat if y'all learned something. I'm about to chop it on up with the fam, a little taste, man, and get on up out of here. I'm glad y'all tapped in with your brother. Gang in the building. I see y'all. You know what I mean? I'm going to slide off a little early today, though. I got a few things I got to do. And some more things I got to take care of family-wise, you feel me? So I'm about to hop up off here. Love, light, power, and balance to the family. All praises to the ever-present creator, all in all. Always was, is, and never shall be. You feel me? Shout out to the credit gang, man. CGG, FGK in the building. You understand? Doing a major work out here, man. Keep our feet on the neck of these deities and these so-called gods and all that. Hey, even our enemies are screaming creator now, man. I can't do nothing but feel marvelous behind it. Like, dang. Feel me? Let's keep going, doing what we're doing, dropping these presentations. And handling our business, man. We got a lot of I's to dot, a lot of T's to cross. You know what I mean? Major moves getting made out here. So look, love y'all, man. Believe that. Know that. Shout out to the haters, jaw jackers, and naysayers. Yeah. We love y'all too. You understand? Create a gang. You bring them, we raise them. You dig? Into the next time, CGG. I'm about this deal. Pray for others, but remember to pray for yourselves, man. Tap in. You can go right to Jaja. We should be ready today. You can go right to Jaja. You know, hey. You know, and invoke a healing through some high-raised angels and get that done, man. Get that done. You know what I mean? Pray for our protection. These are some dark days and hours. And when we just learned how to practically have the high-raised angels come guard you. And guard you from the so-called false deities and all that. You understand? We just read that. And now we understand what it is. You feel me? So until the next time, family, love y'all. Stand on business. You know, we might be right back up tomorrow, the next day. Easy work though, man. Y'all go tap in with the bros, the Credit Gang. Go over to Credit Gang TV right now. Hit like, subscribe, and share, man. We out here doing major work. You feel me? All right, love y'all. I'm about this deal. Creators love and light to every last one of y'all. Shalom.